live from Red Wilson Field here in Yarmouth, Dennis, for this ball game between the YD Red Sox, the home team, as they take on our Wareham Gatemen. Nick Magas alongside Owen Shugrue on the Gatemen Baseball Network. The first time we've gotten to work together, so very excited for this ball game. First pitch coming your way in just a moment for this audio-only broadcast as we work our way toward 5 o'clock local time. This first pitch coming just a little bit earlier than most of the games you'll see here around the Cape with no lights here at Red Wilson Field. So we'll try and get this one in before the daylight leaves completely. YD will take the field first. And for their guys, it'll be Zach Franklin on the mound. It'll be Jim Jarvis, Tommy Troy, and Cade Kern leading it off for the Gatemen, the same way the lineup was last night. Gatemen coming off a 10-4 win in Orleans yesterday evening, got back in the win column. They improved their record to 3-4-1. YD comes into this one at 4-2-3 after beating Harwich 6-4 yesterday. So the rest of the Gatemen order after Jarvis, Troy, and Kern, it'll be Diodati in left field, Justin Williams at third base, Angelo Despina at first base. In the 7th spot, Jack Brannigan, the designated hitter. Behind the plate tonight, in place of Jimmy Crooks, it's Nick Simillo. And in center field, in the 9-hole, Cade Fergus. Who are you most excited to see at the plate tonight, Owen?
Well, you know, I think, Nick, coming off of last night, I'm very curious to see how this team comes out tonight. And a pretty friendly field for a lot of the right-handers. It's not a big field. We were talking about it before the game. You know, this is a fairly home run friendly field. That center field fence is only 350 feet away. So, you know, I'll be interested to see if the Gatemen can keep their offensive momentum going. Yesterday, I wasn't at the game. You guys were on the call, and that was a really tough field. It sounded like the wind was howling into us at Orleans, and still the Gatemen able to score 10 runs.
Yeah, the wind blowing in hard from center field. You had it right, and it's 434 feet there to center field. Today, it's a completely different story. Just 352 to dead center, around 330 to each of the corners.
So, you know, right, so a huge difference, and, you know, it's one of those things, sort of a mindset adjustment. You know, if they're able to capitalize on this type of ballpark, I think, you know, they've got a good opportunity here to score some runs.
The bats definitely came to life last night. The Gatemen put up 6 runs in the 3rd inning, 10 runs on 10 hits overall. As the first pitch of this ball game, skied toward left field, on to make the catch for out number 1. Is Peyton Graham. Jim Jarvis was at the plate first, hacked at the first pitch he saw. And Zach Franklin with 1 pitch and 1 out here in the top of the first.
And getting things tested right at the start. Jarvis going opposite field, the left-hander, and, you know, that's when we were talking about there might be some fly balls that look fairly routine and are a little bit deeper than we think. And that one looked like it was maybe to shallow left field, but just kept riding that wind and ended up sort of middle to deep.
We talk about the wind a lot here at our home park and at away parks as Tommy Troy swings and misses through strike 1. But that's because it plays a huge factor, going straight out towards center field today with a short ballpark. And don't be surprised if a lot of fly balls leave the yard early in this evening. Tommy Troy with an 0-1 count. Zach Franklin, the right-hander on the mound, delivers a breaking ball, swung on and missed for strike 2.
And I'm really excited to see Tommy Troy's debut last night. Good season with Stanford this past season. I think, you know, this has potential here early in the lineup to add some power, get on base for the Gatemen.
Coming off a College World Series appearance with the Cardinal. He sends a chopper towards second base, fielded on a couple of hops. Now Hoffman lets it go off his glove, and Tommy Troy is aboard on an error. Wyatt Hoffman looked like he took his eye off it for just a second. On a couple of hops, it would have been a tough play, as he had to wait for that ball to come down before he could make the throw. Goes off his glove, and Tommy Troy is aboard for the 3rd time in 6 at-bats.
Yeah, it looked like that one just jumped off of Hoffman's glove and just bounced a couple feet higher than he was expecting. Tommy Troy aboard.
Orleans made 4 errors last night. The Gatemen were able to capitalize on just about every one of them, as it's an error on the second baseman in the early going for YD. Troy is off with the pitch. The throw down to second base is in time. Tommy Troy cut down stealing, and the catcher Cody Huff, his teammate from Stanford, cuts him down.
Yeah, good throw there from Huff. Looked like Ferraris, he was in perfect position. Didn't look to me like Troy got a great jump. Wasn't too close there when Ferraris got that ball. Looked like Troy still had a couple more steps to go.
Both Huff and Troy arrived just a few days ago after playing for Stanford this year. Now a ground ball to third base off the bat of Cade Kern. On to first, and that's out number 3. So we'll send it to the bottom of the first inning. Still scoreless here from Red Wilson Field. You're listening to the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Cape Cod Coca-Cola thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. Please remember to recycle your empty bottles, cans, and all other recyclable materials. It takes only 6 recycled plastic bottles to make a new baseball cap.
The 99 Restaurant and Pub is proud to be a sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Visit your local 99 and try their famous colossal lobster rolls. Piled high on grilled brioche and served hot buttered or with just the right amount of mayo and celery with fries and coleslaw. The 99, always the real deal. Badger Sport is a leading provider of superior quality team uniforms and performance athletic wear, including performance t-shirts, fleeces, shorts, and pants. From the fields to the stands and at every practice along the way, Founders Sport Group makes authentic, quality apparel accessible at the speed of the sport. Visit foundersport.com today.
Baseball Factory is a company specializing in player development and college placement of high school baseball players. We care about guiding players to a college that is the perfect fit. Give us a call at 877-752-6025 to get started today.
Back for the bottom of the first inning in a scoreless ball game here from Red Wilson Field between the Gatemen and the YD Red Sox. Matt Swanson on the mound, his second appearance of the year, but making his first start.
Yeah, excited to see Swanson here in this starting role. Had an excellent outing in his last performance with the Gatemen. Went 4 innings pitched, gave up just 2 hits, no earned runs, 6 Ks. So a great night for him. Following Brand that night, we're expecting Brand to come in after Swanson tonight, and a nice chance for Swanson to get things started off well defensively for the Gatemen.
Leading it off for YD in this scoreless ball game, starting in left field, it's Peyton Graham. The right-handed hitter comes into this ball game hitting .394, good for 5th in the CCBL. Added 2 home runs this year. Right now, the only 2 home runs as a team for this YD squad. As the first pitch is a fastball up and inside for ball 1.
And good power here for YD to start off this lineup with Graham. We talk about this sort of a home run happy field, but there just haven't been too many. He's been good so far.
Comes another fastball inside off the hands and out of play. That'll even the count at 1. So for as small as this ballpark is and as much as the wind likes to blow out, I mentioned just 2 home runs remain on the roster on the year. Brooks Lee hit 3, but he took off for Team USA today, so you likely won't see him in the Cape League for the rest of the season. He was probably the best hitter on this YD team. This is his first game not with the Red Sox. It's the 2-1 pitch from Swanson missed. Breaking ball upstairs, 3-1.
Yeah, we talked about before the game, just the shuffling of rosters. It's just such a constant here in the Cape League, and Team USA adding another dimension.
3-1 pitch is cut on, sent skyward behind the backstop. Count goes to 3-2. Peyton Graham staying alive with 2 strikes. No runs, no hits, no errors for the Gatemen. No runs, no hits, 1 error for YD. On the ground to the left side. Backhanded by Jarvis to throw across his body to first, not in time. Jim Jarvis was deep in the hole as he gloved that baseball. Couldn't quite get the throw over there in time, so it'll be an infield single for Peyton Graham to lead off the bottom of the first.
Really tough there for the Gatemen. It was a beautiful throw from Jarvis, a good backhand. And then a great stretch there from Despina. Couldn't have been much more than half a step, a quarter of a step that Graham was just able to reach, but really a good play there from the Gatemen.
Just a slow roller on a 3-2 count. Swanson executed a good pitch, but well placed by Peyton Graham as in steps Briley Knight, the center fielder, who takes a fastball up and away. Knight, the left-handed hitter. Swanson with the slide step, and that's grounded into right field. That's a base hit. Graham will pull up and hold at second. So now runners at first and second and nobody out here in the bottom of the first inning. Swanson only allowed 2 hits in his first outing for the Gatemen. As you mentioned, Owen didn't allow a run in that appearance, but here now facing some trouble. Has already allowed 2 hits in this inning, has not recorded an out, and 2 runners aboard for YD.
And with Luttrell coming up, batting .313, 2 doubles. He's got his work cut out for him in this inning.
Swanson set, steps over, looks at second base. The runners retreat, and we'll try it again. This will be the first pitch to Chase Luttrell. Breaking ball away for ball 1.
Yeah, some of those breaking balls so far, they've just stayed up in the zone. Hasn't been able to get that curveball, that slider. Some of them have stayed up high.
It's Nick Samillo behind the plate tonight for the Gatemen. It was Crooks last night. Those 2 guys have been switching off for the majority of this season. The 1-0 from Swanson. Grounded to second base. Picked up by Troy. On to second for 1. And they get the out there. So it's a fielder's choice. It'll put runners on the corners. Peyton Graham advances to third. Briley Knight is cut down. And Chase Luttrell is on first.
And the slide there from Knight really made it tough on Troy to try to throw over to first base. Kind of wasn't, I don't think it was a dirty slide, but just sort of made it tough for Troy to adjust there and make the play over to first.
It was actually Jarvis on the receiving end of that baseball, but yes, like you said, Owen, a good slide made it tough for him to make the turn. And now runners at first and third with 1 out, as Swanson misses with a fastball away to the cleanup hitter, Nathan Baez. Time is called as Baez steps back in. Runners at the corners, 1 out in a scoreless ball game. Bottom of the first from YD. The pitch from Swanson. Swung on and missed. 1-1.
Baez so far this season, he's been good. He has had some strikeout problems. 13 strikeouts and 32 at bats for him. So an opportunity for Swanson.
The 1-1. Swing and a miss. Dropped out of the glove of Samillo, but stays within reach. So it's 1-2. Runners stay put. Peyton Graham led this inning off with a single. It was followed by a single from Briley Knight. A fielder's choice by Luttrell. Runners at the corners with 1 out. Checked his swing. And he did go around. So that's strike 3. Swanson comes right back, trying to work his way out of a jam. Strikes out Baez. And now with 2 away, the runners are at the corners. And Andrew Compton coming to the plate. That's the 95th strikeout of the season for YD. Team striking out way too much, especially for hitters that don't hit with power. Swanson delivers strike 1 to Compton. Comes into this ballgame hitting .125 on the season. Kicks and fires the 0-1. There's strike 2.
And that's the breaking ball we talked about earlier. Had a little bit of trouble keeping those up in the zone. That one finds the top of the zone. So 0-2, a really nice opportunity here for Swanson.
Swanson with a chance to put him away on this pitch. The runner takes off from first, a swing and a miss. And there's strike 3. So Swanson, after giving up 2 leadoff singles, works out of the inning unscathed. Will go to the top of the second in a scoreless ball game on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
One of the area's best restaurants is located right up the street, Brewfish Bar and Eatery. Brewfish offers 20 rotating craft beers on tap and creative pub food. Check out their off-the-menu brunch with a Bloody Mary bar and $5 mimosas on Sundays. Join us for outdoor dining and drinks under the tent or for live music, located on Route 105 in Marion.
Cape Cod Healthcare is committed to coordinating and delivering the highest quality healthcare services which enhance the health of all Cape Cod residents and visitors. You can expect this level of patient-centered care throughout our entire healthcare system.
Imagine waking up to a seaside breeze, a fishing fleet leaving for work, and a crimson sun rising over seals relaxing on the sandbars. This is the experience of Chatham Bars Inn, Cape Cod's premier resort and spa. To learn more about Cape Cod's finest luxury hotel, resort, and spa, visit chathambarsin.com.
Cape Cod Healthcare offers a comprehensive array of medical services delivered by top-notch teams of healthcare providers.
Diodati, Williams, and Despina coming up for the Gatemen. It's 0-0 as we're at Red Wilson Field this evening on the Gatemen Baseball Network. Starting the top of the second inning, Nick Magas alongside Owen Shugrue. And it'll be Zach Franklin back on the mound for YD. Nobody aboard. Franklin out of the stretch, swung on and missed was the first pitch by Owen Diodati.
And with tonight's wind, Diodati has talked a few games ago about working on that opposite field power, and it's a perfect chance for him tonight.
The 0-1. Breaking ball just missed. Evens the count at 1. Franklin out of Marion, North Carolina. Plays for Western Carolina. Starting this ball game tonight, but mostly in a reliever role this season. And he delivers a fastball just outside to Owen Diodati, 2-1.
And with Western Carolina, too, Franklin usually in that closer reliever position. Interesting trying that starter role, similar to what we've seen with Gilbert for Wareham.
The 2-1. Swing and a miss, 2-2. Looked like a good pitch to hit for Diodati. It was a breaking ball that caught quite a bit of the plate, but he was just out in front of it. Evens the count. Diodati called time right before Franklin delivered the pitch. Forces us to wait a few more seconds for the 2-2. Swung on, lifted foul on the third base side. Tracking it over toward the bleachers is Zach Lou. Did he make the catch? Yes, he did. Zach Lou very close to wandering out of play on that third base side where there is no fence protecting the fans, but he's able to stay with that baseball and make the play for out number 1.
Yeah, really good play there from Lou. Was awfully close into those left field bleachers and had to sort of turn back over his left shoulder to make that catch. A really tough play again with tonight's breeze.
Was headed out of play, and then the breeze blowing it back toward the field as the first pitch is cut on and missed by Justin Williams. Franklin taking his time. Nobody on base here. 0-0 ball game as he delivers a pitch to Williams that's fouled straight back over the screen.
Williams back at third tonight. We've seen Brannigan at third in the past few games, so a little bit of flip-flopping, not uncommon here for Wareham and the Cape League overall.
Williams in a hole, 0-2. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball, swung on and missed. That was a good one from Zach Franklin. Pulled the string on him there. And Justin Williams takes a seat on 3 pitches.
Really was a good breaking ball there from Franklin. Williams out in front of that one pretty good. That one did not have much speed, but tough pitch after a couple fastballs early.
So here's Angelo Despina. 1 for 4 with a home run last night. It was his first home run of the season. after he got out to a really slow start, has turned it into some pretty good numbers after the first couple of weeks. Take strike one from Franklin. Base is empty here with 2 outs in the top of the second. Despina, the lefty, takes the ball just a bit too low. The fastball from Franklin looked like it caught the bottom of his kneecaps, but didn't get the call, so it's 1-1. The 1-1 fouled off to the left. YD comes into this game at the top of the East Division in terms of the standings. They're at 4-2-3. 3 ties on the year. Wareham in 4th place in the West Division. They won last night, improved to 3-4-1. Here's the 1-2 to Despina in the dirt, taken for a ball.
And Despina really improving in these past couple games. He had a game a few nights ago, went 3 for 4, 3 singles in big moments. That was at Bourne, and some really good signs. The home run last night, Despina, like you said, Nick, really making some big improvements as of late.
The lefty took it the other way, going down the left field line. Now the 2-2, screaming foul over the bleachers to the left. Angelo Despina was a 2019 freshman All-American at Mercer. He's put together a couple of good seasons since then. This year hit 15 home runs and fouls that one to the left. Despina just behind the fastball of Franklin. He's barreled him up but sent him straight toward the YD dugout on the third base side. The netting over there protecting the fans.
Yeah, and it's kind of an interesting setup. Those fans are bold right by that YD dugout. There's a fence that goes past the dugout, but after that, it's pretty open.
We mentioned a few plays ago, Lou over there to make the play when there's no fence. Is that one sent to the left once again? This one in the air, twisting out of play. Despina hanging tough with 2 strikes. He has a 2-2 count. The bases are empty with 2 outs. Jack Brannigan waiting on deck. It's been 3 straight fastballs from Franklin. Let's see what he does with the 2-2. Out of the stretch. It's in the dirt, 3-2.
And just a good at bat here from Despina. His offensive improvements continue, working his way back into this count, fouling off a few. Good take there. Finds himself with a full count.
Had trouble getting down in counts, as you mentioned, Owen, early this year, but doesn't go down easy here. It's 3-2. Now that one's off the hands toward the shortstop, and it's Zach Liu cutting off Pascanel Ferreras to make the play and record out number 3. So the Gatemen go down in order in the top of the second. It is still 0-0. We'll be back from Red Wilson Field.
Cape Cod Coca-Cola thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod Coca-Cola has been proudly refreshing the community for over 30 years, and we're honored to support the Cape Cod Baseball League and many other wonderful organizations on the Cape.
Cape Cod Healthcare is committed to providing tools and resources for your sustained well-being. We recognize the vital role of preventative medicine in your health journey and want to help you not only get well, but stay well.
Cape Cod Coca-Cola thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. We offer over 400 different beverage choices on Cape Cod to quench every thirst, and more than 150 of those are low or no-calorie options. We appreciate and thank the sponsors who support. Matt Svanson on the hill once again for the Gatemen as we get set to play this bottom of the second inning from YD. It is 0-0. The Gatemen with no runs, no hits, and no errors. The Red Sox with 2 hits last inning, but Svanson left the runners at the corners for their guys in the bottom of the first. So they come back up here. It'll be Hoffman, Huff, and Liu. Wyatt Hoffman starting at second base today, comes into this ball game hitting .353. One of the better bats in this YD order. In the right-handed batter's box now as he gets his sign from the third base coach. And steps in to face Swanson for the first time this season. Swanson pulls the string on him early as he swings through a breaking ball, 0-1. Both pitchers working out of the stretch, even with nobody on base. That's Franklin and Swanson. As Hoffman checks it up, takes the ball, 1-1. Franklin for YD and Swanson both used to coming out of the bullpen for their respective college teams. As the 1-1 catches the outside corner for a strike.
I like that there from Swanson. A couple breaking balls to start. Good fastball there on the outside corner.
The 1-2's lifted toward left field. Diodati coming on, dives, makes the catch. Owen Diodati ranging to the glove side toward the left center gap, and he steals a hit from Wyatt Hoffman to record the first out of the second.
Beautiful catch there from Diodati. It's the second diving catch we've seen from him. Looks like his hat fell off in the process. Has to make a couple of adjustments. Looks like Jarvis is coming in. It looks like his sunglasses might have broken. Bit of a team effort here from the Gatemen dugout to take care of those.
Out of the dugout, and now he has to pick up the pieces out of the baseline before he retreats to the Gatemen first base dugout. Gonzalez started in center field last night. Now it's Cade Fergus out there tonight for the Gatemen. While we're at it, Cade Kern is in right, and that one's shot to left. Cody Huff coming up and picking up his first Cape League hit of the season. He threw out his teammate, Tommy Troy, stealing second in the first inning, and now he attacks the first pitch he sees from Swanson and drills it to left field.
Yeah, another Stanford guy. And it was a fastball that was up pretty high, but Huff with a good adjustment and ripped that into left field.
It was a high fastball, right about letter high, but able to get his hands on top of it and drive it to the pull side. So Swanson coming right at Lou now, misses low with a breaking ball. Zach Lou starting at third base tonight for YD. And a nice defensive play in the top of this second inning. And now takes ball 2 from Swanson. Swanson living at the bottom of the zone with the sinker and the slider. Those are the two pitches he goes to the most. His goal is to get ground balls from these YD hitters. As the runner takes off with the pitch, and Samillo had him by a mile. Now he retreats to first. Despina chasing him down. Now it's Tommy Troy running him all the way back to first base, and he applies the tag. It was a very late jump for Cody Huff from first base. Samillo was up and throwing, had him by a mile, so much so that Huff actually tried to retreat to first. And it was Tommy Troy applying the tag in the rundown to get out number 2.
Yeah, it wasn't too far that he was off the base that Huff realized that wasn't the best idea. It was just about halfway there, and a well-executed pickle there from the Gatemen infield.
Now an appeal to first base on the last pitch. They were checking the swing. Don Snedden out of the dugout to ask the home plate umpire for an appeal, but they say he did not go, so it's 3-0. After the caught stealing from Samillo. And Swanson tries to come back here with 2 outs and delivers strike 1. Zach Lou still in the box. Cody Huff tried to steal second base a moment ago and was cut down. Catchers aren't exactly known for their speed. As that one misses inside, it's ball 4. So Zach Lou is aboard on first base. 0-0 here in the bottom of the second inning. YD at the plate, and it's the 9-hitter Pascal Ferreras coming up for the first time tonight. Wind continues to blow toward the left field fence. Chopper to Hopper to Jarvis at shortstop across the diamond for out number 3. Jarvis had to wait for the second hop, but Made a quick transfer and a strong throw to first. That'll retire the side, and we'll go to the third. Still scoreless here on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
The Wareham Gatemen would like to thank Franklin Sports for their sponsorship. Franklin is proud to be the official batting glove of the Cape Cod Baseball League. This summer, all 10 teams are wearing their own custom team batting gloves, courtesy of Franklin Sports. To create your own, visit franklinsports.com/custom. Enter code CCBL20 for 20% off your purchase. From the Cape to the majors, only the best hitters in baseball wear Franklin.
Feel the power of a GMC. Test drive one today at Robertson's GMC, down on Cranberry Highway.
We enter the top of the third inning here at Red Wilson Field at YD. Gatemen still scoreless with the Red Sox. As we enter the top of the third, Jack Brannigan leading things off for Wareham. Back at the DH position. Has played a little bit of third base recently, but back at DH, Gatemen have gone 1, 2, 3 in both the first and the second inning, trying to get their bats going as we enter the third.
As you said, just 6 hitters have come to the plate. Tommy Troy was the only one who reached. Did that on an error on the second baseman, but cut down stealing on the very next pitch. So it's been a quick 2 innings offensively for the Gatemen, and Jack Brannigan, who has had his struggles in the early going, stepping to the plate.
Brannigan 2 for 17 so far in his Gatemen career. And the first pitch to Brannigan, that's a breaking ball in there for strike one. Brannigan had a good season with Notre Dame, batted .295, had 6 homers, 29 RBI, actually added 8 steals as well. So he has the offensive potential, just taking a couple games to get things going here in Wareham. And that's fouled off down the left field line. So the count at 0-2.
Notre Dame making it all the way to the Super Regional round this year. So Brannigan joined the team just earlier this week. Still kind of working his way back into the swing of things, so to speak.
So the 0-2 coming from Franklin, the right-hander. And that misses outside, a fastball. Misses on the outside corner, so the count at 1-2. Brannigan leading things off here for the Gatemen, scoreless with YD. And the 1-2 from Franklin. That's swung on and missed, so strike 3 to Brannigan. And that's out number 1. Franklin, his second strikeout of the game, and that's going to bring up Nick Samillo, the catcher out of Manhattan.
Well, if you're noticing longer pauses from us than normal between pitches, that's because Franklin is really taking his time on the mound. He's been pitching well thus far, and a lot of times, as we've talked about in past games, pitchers will like to work quickly when they're feeling good. But Franklin really making hitters wait in the box and making us wait over here in the booth.
He sure is. And the first pitch to Samillo is fouled back. No pitch clock for Franklin, and he, like David Price, is going to take his time.
Franklin, the Southern Conference Pitcher of the Week back in early May. Came on 18 times this year for Western Carolina, most of them out of the pen. Finished this season with a .496 ERA.
And the 0-1 to Samillo is in there for strike 2. Samillo, so far this season, he's 2 for 13, had 1 home run, 1 RBI, batting in the 8th spot tonight for the Gatemen.
Caught a runner stealing last inning as well. One of the more curious caught stealings we've seen thus far.
And the 0-2 misses just outside, so Samillo working his way back. Count at 1-2, 1 out, nobody on here for the Gatemen after the strikeout to Brannigan. And the pitch from Franklin. That's in there for strike 3, so the second straight strikeout for Franklin got Samillo looking. So he heads back to the dugout, and that's going to bring up Cade Fergus, trying to help the Gatemen not go 1-2-3 for the third inning. Fergus batting .333 so far this season, 1 home run, a double, 1 RBI at center field tonight.
Didn't get the start last night. A little bit curious considering he has been swinging the bat so well this season, but back in the lineup tonight, came on late in the game yesterday for a pinch hitting appearance, went 0 for 1 with a strikeout.
Fergus with a .571 OPS.
Buckled by a breaking ball right there.
Beautiful pitch there from Franklin. An OBP, I should have said. I said OPS by accident. .571 OBP for Fergus. So the count 0-1 with 2 outs, nobody on. Here in the top of the third. Another breaking ball from Franklin. That's fouled. So Fergus finds himself down 0-2. And the right-hander, Franklin, now deals. That misses up high. This past season, Fergus started all 44 of his games in center field, batted .299, 2 home runs. Team high 24-game on-base streak. Also 12 multi-hit games. Got the bat going for George Washington as well. Certainly for the Gatemen too. So the count 1-2 to Fergus. Franklin deals. And that's hit weakly to the second baseman. Wyatt Hoffman able to make the catch. So the Gatemen do go 1-2-3 for the third time. We enter the bottom of the third when we come back here at YD on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Clobbered high and deep to right center field, and this one is gone, a home run.
That home run's brought to you by Eastern Propane and Oil, another scholarship for a deserving youth. Eastern Propane and Oil, we're in your neighborhood.
Curry College is where you go to become anything you want. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers with learning beyond the classroom. Explore undergraduate programs, including new majors in sport and recreational management, graphic design, marketing, and computer science, online at www.currycollege.edu. Whether you are recently retired or still working, Fairway Financial can help you create clearly defined retirement income strategies to help protect your wealth, create guaranteed income for life, and provide a legacy for your family. We are committed to earning your trust by thoroughly understanding your goals and dreams and helping you gain greater financial confidence. To learn more, visit Fairway Financial in South Yarmouth or go to fairwayfinancial.net.
We enter the bottom of the third here at YD. Peyton Graham leading things off as he did in the first inning, the leadoff man for YD. Scoreless after 2.5. Swanson still on the mound for the Gatemen. Owen Shugrue alongside Nick Magas on a beautiful night here in YD. And the first pitch from Swanson. That's in there for strike 1. Graham singled in the first inning, reached second.
It was an infield single that has his batting average on the season now close to 400.
As the 0-1 to Graham, misses low and outside. A fastball there from Swanson. And the 1-1, that's lined up the middle. Troy fires over to Despina. Beautiful play there from Tommy Troy. Had to adjust that ball, hit almost right up the middle of the infield. Beautiful backhand and good throw over to Despina, record out number 1.
Once again, Tommy Troy in the lineup for the second time in a row, second time this season, showing off the range to the backhand side, and that is not an easy play, as you said, Owen, for a second baseman.
Right, throwing across his body, a good play.
With all of his momentum moving away from first base.
And the first pitch to Briley Knight, the center fielder out of Portland, is fouled over his left shoulder. So the count at 0-1 with 1 out, nobody on, still scoreless in the bottom of the third. Pitch from Swanson, that's a fastball that misses high and outside. Knight also singled in the first inning. Was thrown out after trying to steal and then realizing that that was a bad decision. And the 1-1 is in there for strike 2.
Swanson really starting to settle in now. That tends to be what you see from sinker ballers who like to live low in the zone, and when they do that and they're trying to get ground balls, sometimes the softer they throw, the more effective they are. And they come out in the first, second inning a little bit amped up, especially guys who don't usually start games. And now Swanson, as he works his way back into it.
And the 1-2 is lined to Despina, and he's going to take it himself. So that's out number 2 for the Gatemen. Swanson, a little bit smoother so far this inning with 2 outs, and that's going to bring up Chase Luttrell. And Luttrell grounded into a fielder's choice, reached in the first inning.
Well, Swanson really starting to settle down now. He had some trouble in the first, but now 2 consecutive ground balls, and that's exactly what he's looking to do.
And the first pitch is lined right back to Swanson. He tosses over to Despina to record out number 3. So the Gatemen go 1-2-3 here in the bottom of the third, still scoreless at YD. Due up for Wareham when we come back is Jarvis, Troy, and Kern, and we'll be back in a few moments on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Wareham House of Pizza has been serving Wareham and Marion for over 40 years with steak and cheese, pizza, and subs. Located in Shaw's Plaza, head on over for pickup or let them deliver to you. Located on the Cape Cod Canal, Keystone Place at Buzzards Bay is the area's newest rental independent living, assisted living, and memory care community. With some of the area's largest apartments and an ultra-inclusive monthly service package, Keystone Place is a life-fulfilling retirement community unlike any other. Discover Keystone Place, the best option in Cape Cod.
One of the Gatemen's favorite places for their post-game meals is Cool Cone, where you can get anything from fried clams and fried chicken to an ice cream sundae, and then top it all off with a round of mini-golf. Cool Cone, located on Route 6 on the Wareham-Marion line.
Welcome back to YD. We enter the top of the 4th inning. Jim Jarvis, the leadoff man, leading things off after 3 1-2-3 innings for the Gatemen. Still scoreless. And the Gatemen trying to put some runs on the board here in the 4th. Franklin, the right-hander, still on the mound for YD. The first pitch is swung on and missed by Jarvis.
Well, it was a 3-run 6th, or a 6-run 3rd, excuse me, for the Gatemen last night, but we're through this 3rd scoreless here. Cruising after what felt like a pretty slow ball game last night.
And Jarvis lines that to the second baseman, Hoffman. He fires over to Baez to record out number 1.
Both of these pitchers getting a lot of ground balls in the early going here.
Next up for the Gatemen is Tommy Troy. He reached on an error in the first inning and did not end up reaching second base.
Well, he tried to steal a base on his teammate, the catcher Cody Huff, on the first pitch and was thrown out.
That wasn't going to fly with his teammate.
No,
and
it
Troy
was not.
fouls that down the left field line.
Well, both of these catchers have caught a runner stealing in this game. Samillo did it 2 innings ago, and he actually caught Huff, who was trying to take second base on him, and did something I've never seen before, which is actually stop as he was thrown out by so much and try and go back to first instead of slide. Of course, that didn't work out so well for him, and he was cut down.
And the pitch to Troy misses. Low and away, so the count at 1-0. Troy did have 4 stolen bases this past season with Stanford. Obviously just got here for the Gatemen. And he lines that down the left field line, just foul. Was hooking, looked fair for a little while, but with the spin off of that bat, just made a few feet into foul territory. So the count at 1-1. 1 out, nobody on for the Gatemen, still scoreless at YD.
Well, balls down the line never do hitters any favors because of that spin off the bat, always moving away from the field of play.
And the 1-2 from Franklin. Troy fouls that off again toward those fans on the left field bleachers and toward the YD bullpen.
Well, as we said earlier, a lot of fields with fencing and netting going all the way down toward the outfield corners, but almost none of that here at YD.
Awfully open.
Fans are playing with fire.
And that pitch, Troy thought it hit him. Umpire seemed to have second thoughts. He's going to think this one over.
Well, I heard it hit him, and I thought I saw it hit him too, so the umpires will come together and talk this over. We saw that last night too with a pitch that hit Despina in the back foot. It took an umpire conference to get that call right, but they ultimately did and put Despina on first. So Troy is already standing on the first base bag. We'll see what they decide here.
And I suppose Troy knows better than anyone. James Fonseca, the home plate umpire, still talking it over. And after some deliberation, they do give Troy the hit by pitch. So Troy is on first like he was in the first inning. So he's reached first base twice. That brings up the right fielder, Cade Kern.
He tries to steal again?
I don't know. That's bold. His teammates certainly watching out for it. We saw in the first inning. Huff not letting it slide. Kern grounded out to third in the first. He's batting .250 on this season. We've seen some power from Kern. 2 home runs, 9 RBI. Kern and Diodati have big power for the Gatemen in that 3-4 spot.
Well, we've joked about how Kern seems to go 1 for 4 every single game. 1 for 4, 1 for 4, 1 for 4. That is his stat line every day, and it's very appropriate that he comes into this ball game hitting .250. I guess we're not too far off with that.
So with Troy at first, the pitch from Franklin. That catches the outside corner for strike 1. And Franklin takes a look over to Troy, who takes his lead at first. 0-1, and he fires back to Baez. Franklin does have the very sort of idiosyncratic motion where he takes a long look to Huff and then sort of bounces off that left foot several times, and he fires back to Baez.
Well, that was the first 2 times now that we've seen him throw over to first, but he's done a nice job holding on Troy. He's been the only base runner for the Gatemen thus far, just by varying his timing, not delivering pitches at the same time, waiting different amounts of time before delivering the ball to home. So you don't need to be throwing it first all the time as a pitcher to be able to keep runners close.
And that's lined to the shortstop, who tosses over to Hoffman, and he fires over to Baez. So a double play to end the inning. And we'll be back in a few moments on the Gatemen Baseball Network. Gatemen go 1-2-3. We'll be back in a few moments.
The law firm of Lang, Exafaris, and Bullard, providing families and businesses in the greater New Bedford community with legal services for 40 years. We look forward to serving you. For an appointment, call 508-992-1270. We invite you to learn more about the law firm of Lang, Exafaris, and Bullard by visiting our website, lxblaw.com.
Legacy Insurance Agency at 213 Main Street here in Wareham can offer you coverage for all your insurance needs. We have the bundle discounts, the accident forgiveness, the vanishing deductible, no loss, etc. But unlike those gimmick companies, we can quote you with multiple carriers. So forget the lizard and price tool and come talk to a professional. We'll help you find what's right for you.
Welcome back to Red Wilson Field as we enter the bottom of the 4th inning. Matt Svanson still on the mound for the Gatemen, still scoreless after 3 1/2. Gatemen not able to get anyone past their third batter in any inning so far. And leading off for the Red Sox is the first baseman, Nathan Baez. Goes by Nate out of Arizona State, and the pitch from Swanson. That stays upstairs for ball 1.
Well, Franklin's done an excellent job with the Gatemen hitters. Hasn't been overthrowing. He doesn't throw particularly hard, but mixing his pitches well and getting a lot of early contact and soft contact.
And the 0-1 is fouled off. It's the count at 1-1. Excuse me, the 1-0 is fouled off, so the count at 1-1. Baez also plays some catcher tonight, again at first base. 1-1 from Swanson, and that hits Baez. So he takes off the elbow guard, the shin guard, and he heads down to first base.
Well, that doesn't feel good if you're Nathan Baez. Caught him in the middle of the back. The umpire's happy, though, because there was no doubt about that one.
Right.
We saw some deliberation on a hit-by-pitch in the Gateman half of this inning. Tommy Troy was ultimately awarded first base, but this time no doubt about it. And Nate Baez aboard with nobody out.
So every pitch makes somebody happy, and Baez now to first base, and that brings up Andrew Compton, the designated hitter. He struck out swinging in the first. Swanson delivers a fastball that just misses, low and on the outside corner.
Andrew Compton, man out of Georgia Tech. Hit .294 this season. His 13 home runs on the year led that Georgia Tech team.
Certainly has some power. We haven't seen it yet for YD coming into this game, batting just .125. It's count at 2-0. Pitch from Swanson. That's in there for strike 1.
We haven't seen too much power from many of these guys in the YD lineup. Peyton Graham, the only guy in the lineup tonight who has even hit a home run. He has 2 on the season. Batting leadoff is the 2-1 to Compton.
And that's grounded toward the shortstop Jarvis, who tosses over to Troy, over to Despina in time. So a double play after a beautiful play from Jarvis to Troy to Despina. So that's 2 quick outs for the Gatemen.
Well, Swanson's staying within himself and doing what he does best, which are get ground balls. And with a runner at first base, that's the best thing you can do as a pitcher. Just a little rollover to the shortstop. And from there, he relies on a couple of slick middle infielders in Jarvis and Troy.
So that brings up Wyatt Hoffman. First pitch to Hoffman is the fastball inside. Hoffman flied out to left off the beautiful catch from Owen Diodati in the second inning. Hoffman in the 6th spot, batting .353. He swings and misses on the 1-0. So 2 outs, nobody on, still scoreless here at Red Wilson Field here in YD. Swanson on the mound for the Gatemen. That's a breaking ball that never dipped below eye level for Hoffman.
There have been some slow starts around the Cape League for some very good hitters, but Hoffman's an example of a guy who's gone the other way. Hit just .228 this year at the University of the Pacific, has broken out this year. Comes into this ballgame hitting .353.
Hoffman fouls back the 2-1. So a 2-2 count with 2 outs, nobody on. Swanson, a chance here to get out of the 4th inning with no earned runs. Pitch, it's a breaking ball, swung on and missed by Hoffman. So a strikeout there from Swanson. A good 4 innings from him so far. Still scoreless here at Red Wilson Field. And we'll be back in a few moments on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Get your glow on at Compassionate Med Spa. They're compassionate about getting your perfect skin. Come get your glow on. Call 774-678-7319. Mention this ad and get 25% off at Hydrofacial.
The Mezzaluna Restaurant is a family-run Italian restaurant celebrating 80 years in business. Located on Main Street in Buzzards Bay, Mezzaluna specializes in Italian cuisine, a lunch menu that's the best deal in town, and serving some of Cape Cod's famous prime rib every Wednesday and Saturday. Come enjoy the feast at Mezzaluna, the Italian family restaurant.
Zach Franklin back on the hill for YD as we get set to play this 5th inning. Haven't even been playing ball for an hour. We're already through 4 and still scoreless. Franklin on for his 5th inning of work, and he's a guy who isn't used to going too deep into ball games. He certainly hasn't been a starter for any of his college career. Threw 5 2/3 innings in his most recent Western Carolina appearance. That was against Wofford, and then threw 6 against the University of North Carolina Greensboro back on May 1st. But other than that, he's pretty much been a reliever, and coming into this game, we didn't expect to see him for much more than an inning or two, even though he started the ball game.
And this is one here, with Diodati, Williams, and Despina coming up, where if you're the Gateman and he's getting tired, I think you keep an eye out for some of those pitches that might not have the same velocity as they did in the first inning.
Velocity hasn't been his thing throughout the ball game, but he's been locating well. And as he starts to get tired, you are right, Owen, he will start to make some mistakes. At least the Gateman can hope as Diodati stands in and takes ball 1. Diodati hitting .364 on the Cape League season, coming off a good night in Orleans where he went 2 for 5. Batting average remains top 10 in the Cape League as he grounds that one to Hoffman at second base. Double pumps, throws to first, and gets the out.
Now batting third baseman, number 15, Justin Williams.
So Franklin facing the heart of this Gateman order. Doesn't appear fazed by that right now as he retires Diodati on 2 pitches and continues to mow through this order with some efficiency. Already through 4 1/3. The bases are empty in a scoreless ball game, and Justin Williams at the dish. Slow breaking ball rolled over and fouled third base side.
Franklin has been a cool customer so far. Never had to face more than 3 batters in an inning. He's just had an excellent performance and no stress for him. Taking his time, seems to be working.
Allowed just 2 base runners. One of them reached on an error. One of them was hit by a pitch and then cut down by way of the double play. So he has yet to allow a hit. Through 4 1/3 now as Williams swings through strike 2. Fastball away, 2-2.
And Williams, though he's had a bit of a slow start offensively here in Wareham, bat .300 this past season for the Nittany Lions, 5 homers, 22 RBI.
That one drilled out toward left field, and no doubt about it for Justin Williams. One swing of the bat puts the Gatemen on top, and it's the first hit of the ball game providing a run.
And that one we talked about, Nick. This has the potential to be a home run friendly field. And a great swing there from Williams out to left field. That's where the wind's blowing. A great way for him in this Gateman offense to get started.
We talked about that, and we also mentioned how as Franklin got deeper into this ball game, how he would start to show signs of fatigue, and that was the first breaking ball he really hung. And Justin Williams did not miss it. Crushed it to left field to give the Gatemen a 1-0 lead.
He really has had a nice dip on that breaking ball, and you're right, Nick, that one just staying up in the zone. He's gotten a lot of batters. We've seen a lot of guys in front of it, but that one stayed up there, and Williams with a beautiful swing right over the left field fence.
Despina fouls that one off his front foot. He takes the knee in the left-handed batter's box now and will take a minute to walk it off.
Yeah, that one thankfully looked like it hit the ground first. Hopefully took a lot of momentum off that, but that still does not feel good for Despina. He's going to hobble that one off, take a quick walk, and hopefully settle back in all set.
Williams with the home run a moment ago. It's now a 1-0 lead for the Gatemen. Despina hit his first of the year last night, an opposite field shot in Orleans to extend the Gatemen lead at the time to 8-4. Despina now facing a 1-1 count and takes a close pitch for ball 2.
That's a good one there. Looked like it might have caught the inside corner, but again, Despina, a big guy. That one might look a little bit lower on him than it would on someone else, and just misses low.
So here's the 2-1. Swing and a miss. It was a high fastball, went right by him, 2-2. Franklin once again not throwing particularly hard, but when he can locate that fastball, especially right above the hands of a hitter like Despina, it's a tempting pitch to swing at and a hard pitch to make contact with. Here's the 2-2. Fouled off.
And Despina in the second, he had a great at bat, ended up grounding out to third, but was down early in the count and fouled a few off, took some good pitches, and we see it again here with another foul ball. Despina looks like he's really finding his rhythm offensively.
2-2 with 1 out here on Despina. Franklin kicks and fires, delivers low. So Despina was down in the count for the second time in 2 at-bats, but once again has worked it full. The payoff pitch, swung on and missed. Zach Franklin confidently buried a breaking ball there, and Despina is retired for out number 2.
And that one earlier to Williams, that one definitely hung, but that one has that dip that we've seen beautifully from Franklin so far. An excellent pitching night, and just that one mistake, and Williams able to capitalize, but that one back to what we've seen so far from Franklin.
Looks to be a bit of a curveball slider type mix for Zach Franklin. Whatever you want to call it, it's been sharp for the majority of this game. As you said, Owen, just one real mistake to Zach Franklin. That's where the ball game stands. It's 1-0, or 1-0 in favor of the Gatemen. Brannigan sends a ground ball to third base. That's a foul ball.
And looks like Zach Lou maybe a little bit frustrated. He made a beautiful backhand play, and that one couldn't have missed by, really, it couldn't have missed by more than just a couple inches. And he made a good backhand play, a good throw over to Baez at first. Brannigan, he's much happier than Lou.
He is. He gets another chance. As it kicked up some chalk, that ball, before it got to the third base bag. But as you know, it has to get over the bag in fair territory for it to be a fair ball. The third base umpire said, no, it did not. It was wide, and with a 1-1 count, Brannigan will dig in. That one's lined to center field and down for a base hit. Jack Brannigan barrels one up and has a 2-out single. So a runner aboard now as Zach Franklin continues to try and work his way out of this inning. It's the first trouble he's really run into to this point. Hadn't allowed a hit coming into the 5th, but a home run from Justin Williams and now a single from Jack Brannigan. Have the Gatemen trying to extend their lead just a little bit here in the top of the 5th inning. It's Simillo at the dish now. He struck out looking in his first trip. Franklin checks the runner at first. Now set. That one sliced the other way down the right field line, and that is a foul ball.
That one looked close too, Nick, and just sliced at the last second to stay foul. And this is interesting. I think we've seen a few, several more pitches than we've seen in previous innings that have been hittable. And that one, obviously the one to Williams, but also to Brannigan, and that one too to Simillo, not able to keep it fair. But I wonder if the pitching staff here will be careful with Franklin.
Franklin was smooth through 4, but made some mistakes here in the 5th. Now here's the 0-1 to Samillo. That one down the right field line as well, but this one further away from the field of play than the last, and it goes foul. Number of young fans sprinting out in foul territory over toward that baseball to scoop it up. Wouldn't be shocked to see one of them ask Samillo to sign it after the ball game. A lucky young man in a red shirt came away with it. So it's 0-2 now on Nick Samillo, the catcher. The pitch just off the plate. Confident take from Nick Samillo, who struck out his first time up. This time he gets the benefit of the doubt on that call. Count is 1-2. Brannigan's still running from first base. It's a 1-0 lead for the Gatemen. High fastball cut on and missed. Strike 3 to Nick Samillo. He goes down for the second time tonight, and that's out number 3. But Justin Williams gives the Gatemen the lead with one swing of the bat, his first home run of the Cape League season, and we'll go to the bottom of the 5th with a one-run lead on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
And ticks. No, yikes! When the bugs get scary, just call Mosquito Mary's 866 Ask Mary, or visit us at mosquitomarys.com.
Red Shirt Fridays is a national program created to acknowledge, honor, and support our troops who put themselves in harm's way to defend our freedoms. In support of this program, the Cape League teams will be wearing a specially designed red jersey every Friday. This special weekly celebration of Red Shirt Fridays is sponsored by 47 Brand, HP Hood, Cape Cod Regional Transit Authority, Advanced Embroidery, and the Cape League. Support our troops and join us by wearing red each Friday.
Whether it's life insurance to safeguard your loved ones, an umbrella policy to protect your teen driver, or making sure your home is covered from storm damage, Rogers Gray is there to guide you. Insurance is more than just a box to check. Trust Rogers Gray, a proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Bottom 5 from YD. It's a 1-0 lead for the Wareham Gatemen, who are in town tonight taking on the Red Sox. Matt Swanson back on the mound for the Gatemen. He threw 4 innings his last time out, but he will try and extend it here, go into the 5th, facing the 7, 8, 9 hitters for the YD Red Sox. He gets ball 1 on Cody Huff, the catcher out of Stanford. Zach Franklin was with him step for step through most of this ball game. The pitcher out of Western Carolina for the Red Sox ran into some trouble in the 5th. He has only allowed 2 hits, but it was a big swing from Justin Williams to give the Gatemen the lead. Now that one's ripped to the left side. Into left field it goes. And Cody Huff is aboard with a leadoff single.
And you mentioned, Nick, the Gatemen playing the Red Sox. These uniforms from YD are basically the exact same as they are for the Boston Red Sox. The numbers, I think, are different. I'm surprised. I know there were some sort of copyright issues. The Chatham used to be the Chatham A's. There were some issues there. Chatham Athletics, obviously, some changing there. But these uniforms are strikingly similar to Boston.
First pitch to Zach Lou, swung on and missed. And that's a good point you make, Owen. Very similar to the Boston Red Sox. And there were some issues with that, I think, 10 or 15 years ago with copyright between the Cape League teams and some MLB teams. Time is called on the field.
And I know you're a White Sox fan. We were saying before the broadcast that they've got the Red Sox uniforms, a White Sox logo, obviously in red, but somehow able to maneuver around some potential copyright issues.
Well, the Bourne Braves and the YD Red Sox are actually the only two teams in this league who agreed to keep the nicknames they had before the MLB got upset and use the Major League Baseball licenses for their merchandise. That one's fouled right over toward our seat over here on the first base side. It's an 0-2 count on Zach Liu. So prior to 2009, 6 of the 10 teams in the CCBL shared their team nicknames with Major League Baseball teams, and they had the choice whether they wanted to change their names. That one skied into foul territory, coming over in our direction and out of play. The mob of young fans once again out for another foul ball, and it's a different kid that comes away with it this time.
An impressive move over there. Unfortunately for him, not near the scouts area, but a good play from him to snag that one off some good spin.
So the 0-2 to Liu out of the hand of Svanson. Grounded toward third base. Brannigan over there to pick it up, but it's foul. So as we were saying, in 2008, the MLB announced that it would enforce its trademarks and asked the CCBL teams, actually required the CCBL teams who had the same names to either change those names or buy the uniforms and merchandise through MLB licensed vendors. So a bunch of teams chose to change their names, but it was the Braves and the Red Sox, Bourne and YD, who chose to keep those names. As the 0-2 to Liu sent skyward. Brannigan, check that, it's Williams at third base for the Gatemen. And he makes the play, holds the runner at first base, and that's the first out. Our producer, Harrison Eaton, said Harwich. Harwich actually had the nickname the Mariners before the Mariners were a member of Major League Baseball, so they were allowed to keep that name without any issue.
Now they've changed as well. However, recently is it the Hyannis Harbor Hawks? I
Well,
believe?
the Harwich Mariners.
Harwich Mariners.
Hyannis used to be the Mets, and they changed to the Harbor Hawks. Chatham was the A's. They became the Anglers. As Svanson checks on the runner at first. There's a runner at first base now with one out in a 1-0 ball game in favor of the Gatemen. Wareham had their name for as long as any of us can remember, since the beginning of time as far as I know. As that pitch hit Pascanel Ferreras, he'll take first base.
Svanson, he's been mostly very sharp, but hit Baez and now hit Ferreras, and that one looked like just hit Ferreras sort of in the thigh area, and looks like he might have a visit now for Svanson.
Well, Svanson was really, really sharp through 4, doing exactly what he needed to do. And with one out here in the 5th inning, faces a runner at first and a runner at second. And George Carlejo, the pitching coach, out of the mound. He strides out of the dugout, check that, onto the mound, and he'll talk to Svanson. It appears they'll leave him in the game, but just wanted to give the starting right-hander a chance to reset. He'll face the top of the order here. Peyton Graham coming to the plate. Stands just outside of the right-handed batter's box. 1 for 2 on the evening. Infield single to lead off the ball game. That was off Svanson, and then once again facing Svanson in the 3rd, grounded out to second base. So they leave Svanson in the ball game. The tall right-hander out of Lehigh in the transfer portal now, yet to announce his destination for next year. He'll be a grad transfer. Comes set with a runner at first and a runner at second. First pitch to Peyton Graham is strike 1. One out here in the top. Checked at the bottom of the 5th inning. It's an 0-1 count on Graham in a 1-0 Gateman lead. Breaking ball checks it up, takes a strike.
Really nice pitch there from Svanson. Got that fastball just in the inside corner, and then that one clearly gave Graham some trouble. Froze him.
So Svanson with options here. We haven't seen the changeup much this evening, but can throw it here if he feels like it. It's 0-2. And he comes right after him with the breaking ball. Gets a swing and a miss and strikes out the leadoff hitter and one of the best hitters in this Cape League on 3 pitches.
Really good pitches, 2 and 3, and in 1, 2, 3 on 3 strikes there from Swanson, but both pitches 2 and 3, a breaking ball, had one to waste with an 0-2 count, and textbook got Graham to chase, and a nice, pretty smooth sailing strikeout for Swanson with two on.
So with 2 outs now, in steps Briley Knight, who takes ball 1. Swanson has run into trouble in a couple of his innings thus far. He started this ball game for the Gatemen, but has pitched his best with runners on base. It was 2 singles to lead off the ball game. He came back with a fielder's choice, a ground ball, and then 2 straight strikeouts to end that inning. As that one's grounded to first, Despina fields it on a couple of hops. Swanson to the bag to cover, and that will retire the side. Swanson is through 5 scoreless, battling back with a couple runners on. We're going to the 6th with a 1-0 lead. Stay with us on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Red Shirt Fridays is a national program created to acknowledge, honor, and support our troops who put themselves in harm's way to defend our freedoms. In support of this program, the Cape League teams will be wearing a specially designed red jersey every Friday. This special weekly celebration of Red Shirt Fridays is sponsored by 47 Brand, HP Hood, Cape Cod Regional Transit Authority, Advanced Embroidery, and the Cape League. Support our troops and join us by wearing red each Friday.
Whether it's life insurance to safeguard your loved ones, an umbrella policy to protect your teen driver, or making sure your home is covered from storm damage, Rogers Gray is there to guide you. Insurance is more than just a box to check. Trust Rogers Gray, a proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Here from YD for the 6th inning, Nick Magas alongside Owen Shugrue. And Shugs, as we call you, how's this? We get to see Zach Franklin on the mound for the 6th inning. We didn't expect that, especially after he gave up a run last inning, but he's been good so far. Outdueled just a little bit by the Gatemen's very own Matt Swanson.
Well, Mags, he sure has. He's been excellent so far. One mistake to Williams, and again, thankfully for the Gatemen, Williams with a rip to left field for the home run, but we were talking about a lot of these guys on the inning counts, and Franklin remains, and it's interesting to see him usually in a closer reliever position in college, and he still remains on the mound, and he really has been good, and this is a long one for him, all the way into the 6th.
Well, guys come out here with different assignments, and as we talked about with Jeffrey Gilbert yesterday during the Orleans game, he was nice enough to come on with us for an interview, and we talked about what it's like for a guy who was a reliever, as it is in Gilbert's case, and I'm guessing like it is for Zach Franklin, who's trying to convert to become a starter, and what the process looks like in terms of training and in terms of getting your work out here in the Cape League, extending your innings and working deeper into ball games and how to make that transition. So Franklin likely a candidate for that, playing ball at Western Carolina where, at any school you can never have enough starting pitching, never have enough pitching in general. As it's Cade Fergus leading it off for the Gatemen. He took ball 1. And he swings through a fastball there. So count goes to 1-1. It'll be Fergus then the top of the order for the Gatemen, who have a 1-0 lead here in the top of this 6th inning. Fergus leading it off. As he fouls one off his front foot. Second time we've seen that in a couple innings for the Gatemen. But Fergus looks to be just fine, actually wearing a guard on that front foot, something that Despina does not have. So he took a moment to reset after it happened to him last inning.
Yeah, well-placed guard there from Fergus. And we talked about Jeffries a few games ago, had been in that 9 spot and had gotten on base with several walks. Fergus also led George Washington this past season in walks and hit by pitch, so good guy to have in that 9 spot.
As he sends a chopper up the middle. Gloved by Ferreras at short, but the throw's not in time. Ferreras ranging to his glove hand side, but just a little bit too slowly hit to get the speedy Fergus, and he's aboard to lead off the 6th.
Yeah, it really was a great play there from Ferreras. Had to spin around, just did well just to stop that ball from going into center field, but after the adjustment and trying to throw well in the middle of a 360, Fergus able to reach in time.
So we'll swing it back to the top. Jim Jarvis for the Gatemen in the left-hand batter's box. And Franklin comes over to first with a pickoff throw. Fergus back safely. So 1-0 lead for the Gatemen. YD has out-hit Wareham, though, 4-3 through this ballgame. YD has also committed an error. That was on Wyatt Hoffman in the first inning. As another throw goes over to first, this one skips away from the first baseman, but within the reach of Nathan Baez, so Fergus will stay put.
I think wise there from Fergus to stay where he was. I think tempting, when you see that ball leave the glove of Baez, but I think Fergus, after having to turn around, I think good smart play for him to stay at first.
Franklin started this ballgame for YD on the mound here in the 6th. He has a runner at first base and nobody out. Jarvis squares to bunt, pulls back for ball 1. So they're going to say he offered at that ball. I guess he pulled back a little bit too late, so it'll go as a strike, though the pitch was high and outside, away from the strike zone.
Yeah, Jarvis shook his head after that one. Looked like frustrated with himself. He wasn't able to pull back in time. That pitch, like you said, Nick, not in the zone.
So 0-1 on Jarvis. Cade Fergus running from first. He squares to bunt again. This time he does pull back, and he evens the count at 1. Both teams were scoreless through 4 innings this evening. It was a Justin Williams solo shot that gave the Gatemen the lead in the 5th, and that is where we stand. The 1-1 to Jarvis, once again bunting, but pulls back. It's 2-1. Zach Lou at third base, playing in on the grass, anticipating the bunt. The rest of the infield for the Red Sox at double play depth. As Jarvis squares around again and takes ball 3.
Yeah, Jarvis showing bunt several times in this at bat.
The breeze has died down a little bit in YD, but it has been blowing out toward the left center field all evening. No lights here, so we'll try and get all of the baseball in before the daylight disappears. The bunt goes down to third base. Lou makes the play, and Jarvis does his job, advances the runner to second.
Yeah, very well executed bunt there from Jarvis. Right down the left field line, about third of the way between home plate and third base, and a good throw over there from Lou, but Fergus gets into scoring position.
So that puts a runner on second for Tommy Troy, who had a good night last night in his first night in the starting lineup for the Gatemen. He was 2 for 5 with a pair of base hits. This evening he's been on base twice, reached on an error and been hit by a pitch. So the Red Sox will meet on the mound with a runner in scoring position and 1 out. They'll take Franklin out of the ballgame, who gets a hug from his teammate after an excellent 5 1/3 innings. Scattered applause from all the fans here at YD. We'll step out for a moment and be back after the pitching change.
Whether it's life insurance to safeguard your loved ones, an umbrella policy to protect your teen driver, or making sure your home is covered from storm damage, Rogers Gray is there to guide you. Insurance is more than just a box to check. Trust Rogers Gray, a proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
South Coast Health Operators of Charlton Memorial, St. Luke's, and Toby Hospitals delivers an unmatched combination of clinical excellence with a personal touch. They are proud to serve as Southeastern Massachusetts and Rhode Island's only not-for-profit health system, as well as the region's largest employer. South Coast Healthcare, plus something more.
Catchers aren't the only ones protecting home. With Rogers Gray, you have more coastal homeowners insurance options and a true expertise in their people. Protect your home with Rogers Gray. Rogers Gray is a proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Learn more at rogersgray.com.
The Gateway Tavern, located on Marion Road in Wareham, offers an extensive but not exhaustive array of menu choices. They search for the finest in foods, ranging from garden fresh produce to hand-selected seafood, and have special menus that change daily. The Gateway Tavern is proud to be the official helmet of the Wareham Gatemen.
Wherever you call home, from Boston to the South Shore to the South Coast to the Cape and Islands, Rogers Gray has you covered for all of your coastal homeowners insurance needs. Rogers Gray is a proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Learn more at rogersgray.com.
That double play is brought to you by TM Ryder Insurance Agency. Package your home and auto insurance for the perfect double play.
Back from YD, Nick Magas alongside Owen Shugrue. The Gatemen threatening a little bit here in the top of the 6th inning. It was an excellent start for Zach Franklin, who exited the ballgame after 5 1/3 innings pitched. He allowed just 1 run and gives way to Jarrett Godman, the right-hander out of Oklahoma, who will pitch to Tommy Troy and inherits a runner at second base. Steps off for a minute to check that runner at second. make the caught stealing from Tommy Troy feel any better as the Gatemen threaten but come away scoreless. It's still a 1-0 lead for Wareham, back right here on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
That double play is brought to you by TM Ryder Insurance Agency. Package your home and auto insurance for the perfect double play.
Village Signs of Mattapoisett. They do it all, from logo design, trucks and buildings, to boats. Village Signs has proudly served Southern New England for over 35 years. Visit them at villagesigns.inc.com for all your signage needs.
Beat the heat and join us at Waterways, a water experience unlike any other this side of the bridge. Open daily, head over to the water park on Route 28, the Cranberry Highway.
Here again from YD, it's Nick Magas and Owen Shugrue. It's a 1-0 lead for the Gatemen in the bottom of this 6th inning. And one more time, we'll talk about Matt Swanson and how well he pitched. Allowed 4 hits, no runs through 5 innings. And on in relief now is Cole Seamus. We are expecting to see Jonathan Brand, as we talked about in the pregame show. That was the scheduled pairing of pitchers, but with Swanson going deeper into this ball game than we expected, than anyone expected really. Now 9 scoreless innings pitched on the season for Swanson, and Brand not into this ball game yet. I guess it'll be Seamus to bridge the gap before presumably Brand takes the final 3 innings.
Yeah, Swanson was really phenomenal, just as he was a few nights ago, and now 9 scoreless. He's been just excellent for the Gatemen so far. Give 4 hits and no earned runs, and didn't get into trouble very often, but when he did, I think like you said earlier, Nick, that's when he was at his best. Got clutch outs and able to get out scoreless.
So Seamus likely a guy that we'll just see for an inning, maybe 2, as he delivers a first pitch breaking ball to Luttrell that misses low. Already pitched in 2 games in this Cape League season, did Seamus. 2 1/3 innings pitched, allowed 3 hits, 1 earned run over those frames as he delivers a fastball for strike 1 on Chase Luttrell.
Yeah, Seamus only 2 1/3 so far this season, a 3.86 ERA, so might be bridging a gap between whether it's Brand or someone after.
Fastball low, that caught the umpire as it got by Samillo. It's 2-1. Seamus spent his freshman year of college at Fresno City College and then his COVID sophomore year at the University of San Diego. Now he pitches for San Diego State. So 3 schools in as many years for Cole Seamus, who gets a breaking ball over the plate. The count goes to 2-2. The bases are empty, and it's a 1-0 lead for the Gatemen. Seamus to Luttrell. Short arm to breaking ball, 3-2.
And Luttrell catching some fire. Had a really tough start offensively here at YD and comes into this game batting .313 with 2 doubles. He's really gotten going in these past few games.
fastball loaded Luttrell. And the dreaded leadoff walk from Cole Seamus.
Yeah, just a lot in the zone. That last fastball in the dirt and struggled to get find the strike zone. Seamus in that last at bat saw a lot of those pitches in the dirt or low, and that's where the fourth one ended up to put Luttrell on base to lead things off.
First pitch to Nathan Baez is a strike. Swanson pitched very well through 5 scoreless innings. He's in line to get the win if Seamus can hold them here. But the bats, for the most part, for the Gatemen have been quiet. It's just a 1-0 lead. They got one in the 5th off Zach Franklin, who, credit to him, pitched a heck of a game himself. Seamus on here for the bottom of the 6th. Not a lot of room to work with only a 1-run lead. The runner takes off with the pitch, and he'll have it standing up as the 1-0 from Seamus was bounced. So Samillo had to get a chest protector on it. No chance to make the play. And now a 1-1 count with a runner in scoring position at second base.
Yeah, good stop there from Samillo to keep that in front of him, but just had some trouble. He had some trouble a few nights ago locating the ball after a ball in the dirt, and looked like there he just couldn't find it, and certainly not in time to try to make a throw over to second.
So a 1-1 count on the cleanup hitter Nathan Baez. Chance for YD to tie this ball game up here with a hit, as a fastball missed the zone a bit too low from Cole Seamus. One run on 4 hits for the Gatemen. No runs on 4 hits for YD. The runner at second base. Here's the 2-1. Chop toward third. Williams over there looks the runner back and makes the throw to first for out number 1. That's a good play by Justin Williams and a good pitch from Cole Seamus.
Yeah, good patience there from Williams. Made sure to take a quick look over to Luttrell. And then with his arm strength, no problem getting that throw over to Despina. Good out here for Seamus. Again, with Luttrell in scoring position. Nice, much nicer to have 1 out with a runner on second rather than no outs. Man on first and second.
So the runner Luttrell stuck at second base for the time being. There is 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. Seamus trying to preserve a 1-0 Gateman lead. That one gets by Samillo. The runner will advance. Don't have the official scorer's ruling for you, but that one didn't hit the ground. It wasn't too far out of the zone, so it should go as a passed ball, and the runner advances.
Yeah, and Luttrell, interestingly, he was really far off second base. He was already about a third of the way over to third, so absolutely no problem. It looked like he thought about home. He rounded third, and by that time, Samillo had caught up with it, but with him on third, a little bit of danger here for Seamus.
So the batter is now Tanner Smith. He's a pinch hitter who took ball 1 from Seamus and now takes another fastball low. Andrew Compton started the ball game as the designated hitter, but came in hitting just 125. So Smith steps in now after Compton went 0 for 2 on the evening and takes 3 consecutive balls. So now Seamus has to work his way back against the pinch hitter with a runner at third base and a 1-0 lead for Wareham. The infield for the Gatemen playing on the grass all the way around. The outfield a little bit deeper than their normal positions due to the howling wind going out toward left center field, and Seamus delivers ball 4. So Smith in the game to pinch hit. Now he's aboard at first after Seamus threw 4 consecutive balls. And YD with runners at the corners with 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th.
Both runners this inning. Luttrell to lead things off. And then Tanner Smith pinch hitter, both reaching on a walk. Only ball in play was that ground ball to Williams, who made the nice play to fire over to Despina and take care of Baez, but some early walk trouble for Seamus.
The sun is dipped below the tree line here. Plenty of light still on the field as we're only an hour and 42 minutes into this ball game in the bottom of the 6th inning. Home plate umpire out to break up the mound meeting after the pitching coach for the Gatemen out to the mound to talk to Seamus. He settles down the right-hander out of San Diego State. Camillo out from behind the plate to give signs with runners at the corners. And into the box now is the second baseman for YD, Wyatt Hoffman. Fastball just off the plate inside. 1-0. Hoffman came into this game hitting over 350. Stands in the right-handed batter's box. The 1-0 from Seamus gets by Camillo. Through the wickets, and that'll tie the ball game. Looked like a fastball that was in the dirt. It'll go as a wild pitch, but a pitch that Camillo knows he needs to block. Instead, it rolls all the way to the backstop, and the runner from third was Chase Luttrell. He comes home.
Yeah, that one's just tough. He reached on a walk, and now Smith able to get to second. And that one just looked like it had no bounce off the dirt, but still gets by Camillo, scores a run, ties us up.
That one skied out of play. Sends the count to 2-1 on Wyatt Hoffman. That's been a theme of this season for a number of different teams, not just the Gatemen. When you have pitchers and catchers who haven't ever played together before, you see more wild pitches / passed balls than you normally would, due to the fact that most catchers just don't have a feel yet for the movement profile of these arms on their new team. As that one sent down the left field line. Into the corner it goes off the bat of Hoffman. Around second to score is Tanner Smith. Hoffman into second base standing up, and it is a 2-1 lead for YD here in the 6th.
So that's 2 runners now who've scored on walks in this inning. Smith came in to pinch hit, drew a walk, and he scored easily from second. And it looks like Carlejo is going to go and have another visit with Seamus.
Well, the first one was to settle him down. This one's to bring in a new pitcher. YD has put up a 2 spot in the 6th so far. The Gatemen have only recorded 1 out, and we will step out for a moment here on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Cape Cod Coca-Cola thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola.
The 99 Restaurant and Pub is proud to be a sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Visit your local 99 and try their famous colossal lobster rolls. Piled high on grilled brioche and served hot buttered or with just the right amount of mayo and celery with fries and coleslaw. The 99, always the real deal. Badger Sport is a leading provider of superior quality team uniforms and performance athletic wear, including performance t-shirts, fleeces, shorts, and pants. From the fields to the stands and at every practice along the way, Founders Sport Group makes authentic, quality apparel accessible at the speed of the sport. Visit foundersport.com today.
Baseball Factory is a company specializing in player development and college placement of high school baseball players. We care about guiding players to a college that is the perfect fit. Give us a call at 877-752-6025 to get started today.
For a nostalgic Cape Cod vacation experience, head to Bay Motor Inn, where guests are treated like family. Located in the heart of Buzzards Bay Village, this 1950s-style cottage colony still provides you with up-to-date amenities. The Gatemen thank the Bay Motor Inn for their support.
Baseball Factory's vision is to guide both players and parents through the college recruiting process and to professionally train players in order to find a school that is the right fit, both academically and athletically. Contact us at 877-752-6025.
Nick Magas and Owen Shugrue here once again from Yarmouth Dennis. The Gatemen taking on the Red Sox. Wareham held on to a 1-0 lead coming into this inning, but now after Seamus exited the ballgame, they find themselves down 2-1 as a couple walks and a double by Wyatt Hoffman just a moment ago chased Seamus from the ballgame and put the Red Sox up 1. So the new pitcher on the mound is someone we see for the first time this season, Ethan Chenault. Right-hander out of UNC Wilmington. Inherits a runner at second base and delivers a breaking ball swung on and missed. Chenault set. The 0-1 taken for a ball.
Yeah, tough task here for Chenault with a runner on second. And Cody Huff, though he had a slow start, again, just got here, just like Tommy Troy out of Stanford, but he's 2 for 2 tonight.
2 for 2 with a couple singles. That one's gets by Samillo. The throw to third, not in time. He was on top of it quickly, but not quickly enough as Wyatt Hoffman advances, and now a runner at third base with 1 out.
You know, it was actually a very good stop there. A first baseman-like scoop from Williams to make sure that ball didn't get past him, and Hoffman would have scored easily.
Yeah, and if that ball did get into left field, it was another run for YD. For the time being, that potential run is 90 feet away, and now squaring to bunt is Cody Huff, but it goes to the backstop off his bat. Chenault on for the first time this season after arriving here in Wareham just a couple days ago. For the Gatemen, the infield is in for the second time this inning. All 4 positions in on the grass. The 2-1 chopped foul wide of the third base bag. Chenault from UNC Wilmington made 17 appearances in relief this year. An ERA a few ticks over 4.
He also held his opponents to a batting average of just 189, so certainly a good season for Chenault.
When he's able to locate his pitches, he is a tough guy to barrel up. And he needs to avoid contact here, facing a 2-2 count to Cody Huff. That one on the ground to the shortstop. Jarvis will come home with it, and now the runner's in a rundown. Samillo running him all the way back to the bag. Now he's applies the tag. And that cuts down the runner coming from third. So a big out there for the Gatemen as Cody Huff grounded to shortstop Jarvis with the throw home. And a bit of a base running miscue by Wyatt Hoffman. Just tried to stay in the rundown. And Cody Huff around first into second base on the play.
And tough, looked like it was a late call from the third base umpire there. Samillo applied the tag, but it didn't look to me, I could be wrong from my view, but it didn't look to me like Samillo got the sign late. He might have had time to fire over to second if he'd seen that earlier.
Either way, it keeps a run off the board for now, as Chenault comes with a breaking ball, gets strike 1. Zach Liu is the batter now. He's 0 for 1 with a walk. Liu still looking for his first hit of the Cape League season. He's now 0 for 8 on the year as he swings through a fastball 0-2. Lou out of Cal State Fullerton. Hit .284 this year during his college season. Pretty good contact hitter, but not a lot of power. He had 3 home runs his freshman year, but now hasn't hit one since then, going into his senior year as he checks it up on a breaking ball, takes a ball.
Chenault taking a bit of a chance there with a breaking ball. Lou definitely thought about it, stayed up a little bit high. Not a bad one to waste there, up 0-2 for Chenault.
Chenault leans in to get his sign. Glove against his chest, right arm dangling. Now he comes set. Kicks and fires the 1-2. Lou was out in front of it. Despina ranging over from first base, but it goes out of play. He had Lou guessing on a breaking ball there. Able to stay alive with 2 strikes and pop it over the Gatemen dugout. It's a 2-1 lead for the Red Sox. They added 2 runs this inning after going scoreless through the first 5. Chenault came on in relief of Seamus, who gave up both of those runs. And he has a chance to get out of it here, 1-2. Swung on and missed. That ends the inning, but not before the damage is done. The Red Sox add 2, take a 2-1 lead over Wareham, and we'll send it to a break. Stay with us on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Baseball Factory's.
Come on over to BB's Bar and Grill for food, drinks, and fun. Located on Cranberry Highway, come in to sample the delicious eats or relax with a drink while enjoying live entertainment. BB's is one of our team meal partners.
With professional coaches that provide personalized world-class baseball training, Baseball Factory helps every player take his game to the next level. Get a pro evaluation by calling 877-752-6025.
One of the area's best restaurants is located right up the street, Brewfish Bar and Eatery. Brewfish offers 20 rotating craft beers on tap and creative pub food. Check out their off-the-menu brunch with a Bloody Mary bar and $5 mimosas on Sundays. Join us for outdoor dining and drinks under the tent or for live music. Located on Route 105 in Marion.
Cape Cod Healthcare is committed to coordinating and delivering the highest quality healthcare services which enhance the health of all Cape Cod residents and visitors. You can expect this level of patient-centered care throughout our entire healthcare system.
Imagine waking up to a seaside breeze, a fishing fleet leaving for work, and a crimson sun rising over seals relaxing on the sandbars. This is the experience of Chatham Bars Inn, Cape Cod's premier resort and spa. To learn more about Cape Cod's finest luxury hotels,
welcome back to Red Wilson Field as we enter the top of the 7th inning. Gatemen trailing the YD Red Sox 2-1 after a 2-run bottom of the 6th for YD. Leading things off for the Gatemen is Owen Diodati, the left fielder out of Alabama. He's 0 for 2 tonight, grounded out to third in the 2nd, and then grounded to second in the 5th. Still on the mound for the Red Sox is Jarrett Godman. And the first pitch from Godman. Lefty Diodati fouls that back over the backstop.
Godman came on in relief in the 6th, got the final 2 outs of that frame after Zach Franklin went 5 1/3, allowed just 1. That 1 run is where the Gatemen stand right now.
And that one's lined into right field. And backing up is the right fielder, and that's gone. So Diodati with a home run to right field, fighting that wind that's blowing pretty hard to left field. And we see the power again from Owen Diodati. His first home run of the night, his first hit of the night, ties things up. So we find ourselves locked at 2. And that brings up Justin Williams, who homered in his last at-bat. The first pitch to Williams misses low and away.
Well, back to that home run. Once again, Diodati showing off that pull side pop. He has 4 now on the year. All 4 of them almost to exactly the same spot.
And Williams lines this into left center field, and that's gone. So the Gatemen go back-to-back home runs. That gives them the lead. That's Williams' second of tonight. Diodati, Williams, back-to-back home runs. Gatemen on top 3-2. Next up, Angelo Despina. He homered last night. He's going to try to keep things going.
Why not 3 in a row? But Williams, for the second time tonight, goes yard. And Despina with a chance to do it now. He did it last night for the first time this year, as you said. And Williams once again barreling one up, driving it to left center field and just letting it ride the wind.
And the pitch to Despina. Swung on, and that's fouled.
So a 2-1 deficit coming into this inning was what stared the Gatemen in the face. But back-to-back jacks from Owen Diodati and Justin Williams have put them up 1.
2 swings of the bat. Changing things around for the Gatemen as Cody Huff, the catcher out of Stanford, he goes to have a quick chat with Godman. So Despina, he's 0 for 2 tonight. We've talked about his recent offensive improvements. He came into this game batting .286 with, of course, the home run last night, an RBI. So the 0-1 from Godman. That misses just outside. That brings the count to 1-1. So nobody on, nobody out. 2 home runs for the Gatemen. Put them on top 3-2 here at YD. And Godman deals. That one misses high and outside. That one up by the chest of Despina. So that brings the count to 2-1. And the 2-1, that one for the 3rd pitch in a row. It's another fastball that misses high and outside. That brings the count to 3-1. And Godman deals. That's a good breaking ball after 3 fastballs on the outside corner. That's a breaking ball from the right-hander that dips into the zone on the inside corner for the lefty Despina. So the count now full. And the pitch from Godman just misses low. He went back to that breaking ball, but does not find the zone. So Despina aboard, still nobody out for Jack Brannigan, the designated hitter.
Well, that's a good patient at-bat from Despina.
And we're going to have a meeting. Now the hole in field. Lou, the third baseman, Ferreras, Hoffman, Baez, Huff. And looks like we're going to have a pitching change as well. So the night's over for Jarrett Godman. And 2 home runs put the Gatemen on top 3-2. And we'll be back in a few moments on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Clobbered high and deep to right center field, and this one is gone. A home run.
That home run's brought to you by Eastern Propane and Oil. Another scholarship for a deserving youth. Eastern Propane and Oil, we're in your neighborhood.
Curry College is where you go to become anything you want. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers with learning beyond the classroom. Explore undergraduate programs, including new majors in sport and recreational management, graphic design, marketing, and computer science, online at www.currycollege.edu. Whether you are recently retired or still working, Fairway Financial can help you create clearly defined retirement income strategies to help protect your wealth, create guaranteed income for life, and provide a legacy for your family. We are committed to earning your trust by thoroughly understanding your goals and dreams and helping you gain greater financial confidence. To learn more, visit Fairway Financial in South Yarmouth or go to fairwayfinancial.net.
Curry College is where you go to become anything you want. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers with learning beyond the classroom. Explore undergraduate programs, NCAA Division III athletics, and continuing education and graduate studies, including fifth-year master's programs at www.curry.edu.
Welcome back to YD as the Gatemen find themselves with the lead after the 2 home runs from Owen Diodati. Justin Williams, Taylor Swift's Shake It Off, playing over the loudspeakers here. That's what the YD Red Sox trying to do when we come back. And a new pitcher on the mound for YD is Reed McLaughlin.
McLaughlin out of BYU. Grew up in Scottsdale, Arizona. He was an all-WCC honorable mention this year, and deservedly so. 3-2 record with a 2.04 ERA.
And Brannigan lays down a bunt that was awfully close to staying fair, but just got up in the air and the side spin caused it to get into foul territory.
So to recap this inning for you, it was a Diodati home run to lead it off, followed by a Justin Williams solo shot to give the Gatemen a 3-2 lead. And then a walk from Despina was the final nail for Jarrett Godman, who came out of the ballgame. And on in relief, still with nobody out, is Reed McLaughlin.
So Brannigan steps back in. Despina takes his lead on first. Pitch from McLaughlin. It's a breaking ball. Brannigan took a check swing, did not go around. So the count now even at 1. No outs. Gatemen leading 3-2 in the top of the 7th. And the right-hander McLaughlin deals another breaking ball. That time catches the outside corner.
Got the point and the nod of approval from the catcher, Cody Huff, who liked that one. Good action on the breaking ball, the first we saw from McLaughlin.
Sure was. So the count at 1-2. Still no outs. The right-hander, Brannigan, set to take the pitch from McLaughlin. Deals another breaking ball. Gone back to that for the 3rd time in a row. That one's fouled over the right shoulder of Cody Huff. This count's still at 1-2. Pitch from McLaughlin. Goes to the fastball. That one just misses on the outside corner. That evens the count to 2.
That was a good, confident take from Jack Brannigan. You can tell he is starting to get more comfortable, and while the hits haven't been coming yet for the third baseman out of Notre Dame, he's just, settling in when he looks confident, when he's taking pitches without checking his swing, just watching him go by, especially close pitches like that. It's a good sign.
And Brannigan lines that to the shortstop, Ferreras, who tosses over to second, and the throw over to first is in time. So the first 2 outs at the top of the 7th off of the double play from Ferreras over to Hoffman to Baez. And that brings up a pinch hitter, Jimmy Crooks, in for Nick Samillo with 2 outs and nobody on.
Well, it was a passed ball and a wild pitch that probably did Samillo in last inning. It'll be a straight switch between him and Jimmy Crooks, who has started the majority of the ball games behind the plate for the Gatemen. And Samillo, who has struggled at the plate and also did not have his best game defensively, now gives way to Crooks, who takes ball 1.
Crooks coming into this game, batting .211, 1 home run, also a double in just 19 at-bats, also an excellent defensive catcher. So the 1-0. That's a big sweeping breaking ball that finds the top of the zone, so the count at 1-1.
Probably the best asset of Jimmy Crooks is his pitch calling, though. We got to talk to Jeffrey Gilbert about that last night, and he's just has the ability to be on the same page with all of these pitchers at most of the time, even guys that he hasn't played with before.
Yeah, that's foul tipped into the mid of Cody Huff, and certainly a skill there from Crooks. We talked earlier. It's just there are so many new pitcher-catcher relationships, and to be able to have that command from behind the plate for Crooks is a great asset.
Not just command, but a rapport with your pitchers. To be able to have them trust you in certain situations when, in many cases, you just met a few weeks ago.
And Crooks lines that deep into left field. Moving back is the center fielder, and that does drop. So Briley Knight picks that up, tosses over to third. And a double from Crooks keeps this inning alive for the Gatemen. That brings up Cade Fergus, the center fielder.
Not just a double, but a pinch hit double. Jimmy Crooks coming in cold off the bench, and with 2 strikes, sending a ball to left center field off the fence. And he's aboard in scoring position now with Cade Fergus coming to the plate.
Fergus, who grounded to the first baseman, Nathan Baez, in the third, and then singled in the 6th, reached third, not able to score, but he settles in with Crooks on second, 2 outs. The first pitch to Fergus, that's a breaking ball. That misses on the low outside corner. And Fergus, with one home run already this season. The 1-0, another breaking ball that also misses low and outside.
He's so smooth at the plate. Just balanced, confident, slight uppercut in that swing, and that's where he generates some of the power. As you said, a home run earlier this year, also a double. Not nearly as many plate appearances as Tres Gonzalez, but has made a difference for the Gatemen when he's been in the ballgame.
And at the 9 spot tonight, Fergus, the 2-0. That's a big swing and a miss. With Crooks on second, 2 outs, Gatemen leading 3-2 thanks to the home runs from Diodati and Williams. Fergus now settling back in.
Wouldn't be surprised to see McLaughlin going back to that same pitch. Had Fergus well behind that fastball.
And he does go back to the fastball, but that misses low and outside. So Fergus, seeing that patience from him and that smoothness at the plate, count now 3-1. Right-hander McLaughlin takes a look at Crooks on second. And just before he was about to deal, home plate umpire James Fonseca called for time. So Gatemen looking to add on at least another run here and put themselves up 2. And Reed McLaughlin, the 5'11" right-hander from BYU, delivers the 3-1. That's fouled right down that left field line. And that brings us to a full count.
We were scoreless through 4 in this ball game. Justin Williams' solo shot put the Gatemen up 1 in the 5th. Bottom of the 6th, the Red Sox got 2, but in this inning thus far, the Gatemen have come back with 2 of their own. It's a 3-2 lead for them at the moment.
Payoff pitch coming from McLaughlin. And that gets by Huff. So able to advance to third is Crooks. And that sends Fergus over to first base. So runners on the corners. Gatemen up 3-2 with a chance to add some more. As they head to the top of the order, it's Jim Jarvis, the 7th batter for the Gatemen this inning.
Jarvis was 2 for 4 last night in Orleans with a walk and a hit by pitch. He leads the Gatemen now with 42 plate appearances on the season. Still looking for his first hit of the night. He's 0 for 2 with a sacrifice bunt.
McLaughlin deals another sweeping curveball. That catches the inside part of the zone. So with 2 outs, Crooks on third, Fergus on first. Gatemen leading 3-2. Reed McLaughlin gets the sign from Cody Huff. And the 0-1. That catches the outside corner for strike 2. Jarvis gets the sign from Snedden in the Gatemen dugout.
Well, no complaints here as Jarvis faces an 0-2 count. Always love to see Jimmy Two Strikes take his approach in the box.
Into that distinctive low posture. Took a check swing. Third base umpire says no, he did not.
The patented appeal to the second base umpire. Jack's laughing over there. I have him 100 feet away make the call, looking at the play straight on. I love it.
So the count at 1-2. 2 outs. Runners on the corners. Pitch from McLaughlin. That misses. On the outside corner. So Jarvis working himself back into this count. He was down 0-2.
He does that so well. He does that so well.
Incredibly patient at the plate. Excellent leadoff hitter for the Gatemen. The 2-2. Big breaking ball is in there for strike 3. Jarvis thought it stayed up high. But the Gatemen add 2 off of the home runs from Owen Diodati and Justin Williams, and it's time to stretch here at YD. We'll be back in a few moments on the Gatemen Baseball Network. Welcome back to the Gatemen Baseball Network as we enter the bottom of the 7th inning here at Red Wilson Field. The Gatemen taking on the YD Red Sox, and 2 home runs from Owen Diodati and Justin Williams put the Gatemen in the lead 3-2. And now on the mound for the Gatemen is Jonathan Brand, the right-hander.
Well, we saw Brand once earlier this season. That was against Orleans at home. He was excellent. Started the ball game, went 4 innings. Gave up just 1 earned run on 4 strikeouts.
And leading off for the Red Sox this inning is the 9-hitter, shortstop, Pascal Ferreras. And he takes a check swing and just went around, so count at 0-1. And a beautiful breaking ball there from Brand. Ferreras way out in front of it, so Brand quickly up 0-2.
Brand, the 21-year-old right-hander out of Miami of Ohio.
The 0-2. Fastball got him looking, so a great strikeout to start things off for Jonathan Brand. Fired the fastball in on the 0-2, so 3 pitches, 3 strikes to lead things off.
Well, we touched on it a bit pregame, but Brand's MO is to keep the ball high in the zone, the fastball, I mean. Had a couple pitchers earlier in the game at Swanson and Chenault that were sinker ballers, but Brand going for the fly ball here. High spin fastball. Keep it up near the letters as he gets strike 1 on the man in the top of the order, Peyton Graham.
Yeah, Peyton Graham 1 for 3 tonight. Singled in the first. Grounded to second as he lines that foul over the right field bleachers. Grounded to second in the third and then struck out swinging in the 5th. and he finds himself down 0-2. Pitch from Brand. That's grounded. The shortstop, Jarvis. He backhands it, fires over to Despina. Despina not able to make the play at first. Just off the top of the glove of Despina, so able to reach is Graham. He's on for the second time tonight.
Well, that should go as an error on Jarvis as the throw was low, but Despina for the second night in a row unable to make the scoop over there at first base on a play that first basemen at this level are expected to make.
So Graham on first base for Briley Knight. He's also 1 for 3 tonight. And the first pitch tonight is a breaking ball in there for strike 1. Knight also singled in the first. Graham and Knight both singled to lead things off in this game for YD. Since then he's grounded out twice. And the 0-1 shows bunt. But that's in there for strike 2. I think he pulled back in time, but that pitch found the strike zone. So 0-2 for the third batter in a row for Brand.
Brand actually stumbled as he came off the mound there after delivering that pitch. Maybe a bit of an issue with his landing spot there on the front side of the hill here at YD. A lot of times a pitcher, especially pitchers that come into the ball game late in the game after there have already been a number of guys out there, guys with different preferences, different stride lengths, the front of that mound can get beat up, and for Brand, just not a clean look on the front of the hill.
So Brand delivers, and that's grounded. The second baseman, Troy, tosses over to Despina. Nice play from Troy. So that gets the second out of the inning. Graham is able to advance to second, but 2 away here for Chase Luttrell.
That's a few times now that we've seen Tommy Troy showing off excellent range at second base. Can play both spots in the middle infield, but that time just a dead sprint over there toward the hole between him and Despina at first base, and just a quick transfer and an easy throw, but getting to that baseball was the hard part, and he did it with ease.
And the first pitch to Luttrell. Luttrell fouls that off over the left field bleachers. Luttrell scored after taking a walk in the 6th inning. It's the count at 0-1 with 2 outs. Graham, after reaching on the low throw from Jarvis and Despina not able to make the scoop. He's on second. Pitch from Brand. Great breaking ball. That's in there for strike 2. So 4 batters, 4 0-2 counts for Brand.
Well, Brand is usually a starter, but coming into this ball game in relief and has wasted no time getting a feel for both of his main 2 pitches.
Brand also an excellent outing in his first appearance with the Gatemen. Also won 4 innings, gave up just 1 run. The 0-2 just misses outside. So Graham will retreat back to second. Brings the count to 1-2 for Luttrell, the right fielder.
Brand can only go a max of 3 in this ball game as he comes in for 7, 8, and 9, but a tough outing as he holds on to a 1-run lead for the time being.
And the 1-2, that's in the dirt. An excellent stop there from Crooks. That keeps Graham at second.
And that was a fastball that was in the dirt. That was a 1-2 fastball, and a great job by Crooks, because when you call a breaking ball as a catcher, it's fairly easy to get a body on it. You know what you called, you know you can anticipate it in the dirt, and you're ready to drop to your knees at any moment. But on the fastball, making that play is a lot more difficult.
And the 2-2, that's fouled off. Crooks so good behind the plate, and we just saw on the pinch hit double in the previous inning, an excellent two-way player as well. So the count even at 2, 2 outs. Graham on second. Brand facing off against Luttrell. Gatemen up 3-2 in the bottom of the 7th. The pitch, that's grounded foul down the right field line. So Luttrell hanging in this at bat, a couple foul balls. Count still even at 2, working himself back from an 0-2 count. He's not alone. Ferreras, Graham, and Knight all found themselves there as well. And the pitch from Brand, breaking ball, and it was just fouled off.
Well, that was an interesting swing from Chase Luttrell. Looked like he had no chance and able to hold the barrel back as long as he could on that breaking ball and just get a piece of it to stay alive in the at-bat.
Looked to me like it was a swing and a miss. I was ready to call strike 3, but that one just ended up in the dirt, so Luttrell just got a piece of it and stays alive with another foul ball. And that's the breaking ball for strike 3. So an excellent inning from Brand keeps the Gatemen ahead 3-2, and we enter the top of the 8th. And we'll be back here at Red Wilson Field on the Gatemen Baseball Network. Welcome back to Red Wilson Field here at YD. Gatemen leading the Red Sox 3-2 off of those 2 home runs from Diodati and Williams in the past inning. And leading off for the Gatemen this inning is the second baseman out of Stanford, Tommy Troy. Just his second Gatemen appearance. He's been excellent in the field tonight. And he tries to get things started for the Gatemen in the top of the 8th. First pitch to Troy is grounded. Left side of the infield, Lou charged on it, bobbled it. So the third baseman, Lou, not able to make the play. And Troy reaches for the 3rd time tonight.
Well, that was a ground ball to the shortstop, hit fairly slowly. And in most cases, you want your third baseman to cut the shortstop off in that situation and make the play because his momentum moving that direction toward first base is going to allow him to get more on the throw across the diamond. Zach Lou, with the right idea in mind, just unable to glove the baseball. And for the 4th time tonight, Tommy Troy is aboard.
And Cade Kern, next up for the Gatemen. He fouls the first pitch off down the right field line. Kern is yet to reach tonight. He grounded to third in the first, and then a double play in the 4th, and then little pop fly to the second baseman Hoffman in his last at bat, and he hits that into right field. And Luttrell, moving to his left, able to make the catch. Troy attempting to tag up to second. He does. So Troy gets a great jump off of that pop fly. He's had some trouble. He's tried to steal a couple bases tonight, but he gets a great jump on that one. So Troy's able to reach second. Kern flies out to right, but able to advance Troy into scoring position. And that brings up Owen Diodati. He homered in his last at bat to right field.
And now the breeze has shifted, so blowing straight out toward right should be a huge advantage for Diodati if he can get one up in the air.
This is a Diodati friendly wind.
Hit his 4th home run of the season earlier this evening. Justin Williams is on deck. He has 2 home runs on the year, both of them tonight.
And McLaughlin tosses over to check on Troy. And Troy's back safely, so Still waiting on the first pitch to Diodati, who's 1 for 3 tonight. With 1 out, the right-hander McLaughlin deals, and Diodati fouls that over the left field bleachers. Still a good crowd here in YD on a beautiful night. Again, a gentle, steady breeze. Awfully hot day again. Hot yesterday, still hot today, hot and humid, but a nicer temperature as the sun continues to go behind the trees. Pitch from McLaughlin, that's a fastball high. And that brings the count to 1-1. So with Troy on second, 1 out, the pitch from McLaughlin, that very similarly misses high. Bounced out of the glove of catcher Cody Huff, but stayed right in front of him, so no damage. Brings the count to 2-1.
Look at some scores around the league for a moment. Brewster ahead of Chatham in the 7th. Orleans up 12-4 on Cotuit in the bottom of the 5th.
And that's fouled off by Diodati. Orleans getting some anger out after last night, it seems.
It was a rough ball game for them. They lost 10-4 to our Gatemen, but Wareham ahead of YD, of course, here in the top of the 8th. That game started early, as there are no lights here at Red Wilson Field. So the other 2 ball games, both in the bottom of the 5th. It's Harwich and Bourne locked at 0, and Hyannis ahead of Falmouth 5-1.
And the 2-2 to Diodati. It's a big swing and a miss. Or fouled off. Just got a piece of it again. I apologize. Similar to that pitch in the last inning. Diodati just able to get a piece of it, so Diodati stays alive. Count at 2-2, still 1 out. Troy takes his lead on second. Gatemen up 3-2. And the right-hander, McLaughlin, deals. And a check swing from Diodati in the dirt. Third base umpire says no, that one was close. Diodati just able to hold up. So that brings us to a full count. So the payoff pitch coming from McLaughlin, who gets the sign from Huff. And Diodati fouls that toward the Gatemen dugout.
Diodati hasn't quite been able to time up McLaughlin yet in this at-bat. A little behind some pitches in early on and then out ahead of a couple breaking balls here, but battling with 2 strikes now and a full count.
So after a few foul balls, count's still full. And the pitch, and that misses up high. So Diodati reaches after his home run in the 7th. He's aboard again. Troy on second, Diodati on first for Williams, who has 2 home runs tonight after striking out in the 2nd, homered in the 5th, and then went back-to-back with Diodati in the 7th. Williams back at third tonight. Brannigan has been there in a few of the previous nights. So back in the field, and a breaking ball from McLaughlin. That's a swing and a miss from Williams. So the count at 0-1. Troy takes his lead on second. Diodati takes his on first. 1 out. Gatemen still up 3-2. Pitch from McLaughlin. Another breaking ball. That one finds the strike zone. Looked a little bit inside, but still in there for strike 2.
Gatemen having trouble timing up this McLaughlin breaking ball. It puzzled Diodati. He's aboard now after the walk, though, and now Williams down 0-2, also looking a bit confused in the box.
And the 0-2. That's a swing and a miss from Williams. So Williams, after 2 home runs, he strikes out for the second for the second out of the top of the 8th. So 2 outs for Angelo Despina.
That's just Reed McLaughlin pitching backwards to Justin Williams. Goes with 2 breaking balls, has him off balance out on the front foot, and then right when he's geared up to hit a hanger, 0-2, he comes with a fastball at the hands, blows it right by him for out number 2.
So Despina, he reached on a walk in his last at bat. He swings and misses on another breaking ball, so the count at 0-1. Despina grounded to third in the second and then struck out swinging in the 5th.
I'm not sure what McLaughlin calls that pitch, but it is biting hard.
A lot of dip on that breaking ball, and he tosses back over to check on Troy.
The wind's still blowing out toward right and starting to pick up a little bit here in Red Wilson Field as the sun continues to fall in the sky.
And the 0-1 to Despina. That's that breaking ball, and that one finds the upper part of the zone. Really a beautiful night, an interesting weather night. There's some weather coming in tomorrow, and that's sometimes when the sky is at its prettiest. Some beautiful clouds in the distance over left field. And the 0-2 to Despina, that just misses low.
If the weather is going to come in, tomorrow would be a good day. Both of these teams have a day off before we resume play throughout the Cape League on Friday. Get the rain out of the way.
Mother Nature trying its best to time things up. And that's a swing and a miss to Despina, so the Gatemen not able to score in the top of the 8th. Still up 3-2, and when we come back, we'll enter the bottom of the 8th inning. Brand still on the mound for the Gatemen here on the Gatemen Baseball Network. Welcome back to Red Wilson Field as the pace of the game here changing. The first 4 innings took 45 minutes here on YD, and the last 5 innings took an hour and 40 minutes. Gatemen don't mind. They were trailing, and now they're leading 3-2. Brand still on the mound as he fires a breaking ball that misses just up high for Nathan Baez, the first baseman.
Are we going to tell everybody how long it took you to calculate that pace of play info?
We are not. I'm going to keep that to myself. It was longer than I would like to admit as Baez lines that into left field. And he's on second base, so a leadoff double for Baez here in the bottom of the 8th.
Well, Baez pays no mind. He wants to get something started right here for YD, and why not as they're down 3-2. But kudos to you, Owen. I didn't even try and calculate it, but I just said, yeah, this game seems to have slowed to a halt since the 6th inning.
And I did my best, having some trouble there, figuring out. It would have been nice if there was a clean, hour, finish at 6 o'clock. Having some trouble, the 5:50 to 6:40 really tripped me up. Again, more than I would care to admit. But still, Baez on second. with no outs.
We were cruising through the early innings, and we mentioned it before. No lights here at YD, so we need to get this ball game in its entirety before nightfall, as the sun is now dipped behind the clouds. It is early evening here as the sunset looks nice, but the baseball is starting to look a little bit fuzzy coming out of the hand of Jonathan Brand.
So as we just get past 7:30, still have some light and doing okay, but wanting to keep things moving, hopefully to be able to finish this game as the fastball from Brand misses low. Tanner Smith in after he pinch hit in the 6th inning.
Walked and scored a run in the 6th.
And the 1-0 to Smith. Smith takes that inside. Smith sporting his distinct green batting gloves out of Oregon, of course, from Nike.
Between innings, though, a nice little advertisement from Franklin. Franklin batting gloves sponsoring the Cape League, but most of these guys wearing their own here. As Jimmy Crooks comes back to the dugout and looks to switch out gloves. Maybe he popped a string there. Not sure what exactly happened, but he caught that last pitch from Brand and didn't look like anything particularly special, but Crooks had to switch out mitts. So he does. He gets back behind the plate, and Smith digs in to wait for the 2-0.
So the newly mitted Crooks, and the pitch from Brand gets by Crooks. The new glove not off to a great start. The glove is 0 for 1. So the count now at 2-1. Baez able to reach second. So with no outs, YD with a good chance here to tie things up. Gatemen leading 3-2 here in the bottom of the 8th. Diodati and Williams homered in the 7th, and Williams also homered in the 5th. So 3 solo home runs have been the source of the Gatemen scoring. And with Baez on third, Smith, the new designated hitter, again after pinch hitting for Drew Compton, comes in. He hits that well to the gap between right and center field. Kern coming in, he makes the catch. Baez able to score easily, an errant throw from Kern. So that throw about 8 to 10 feet offline, so YD does tie things up in the bottom of the 8th.
Well, Kern coming in on that baseball to make the catch and airing it out from right field, showing off what is a really good arm. But missing the mark by, as you said, about 8 to 10 feet, and with nothing to lose, may as well give it a shot. Nobody running from any other bases here. But it does score the game-tying run.
So 3-3, that's grounded to Jarvis at short, and he fires over to Despina for out number 1. So Wyatt Hoffman, the second baseman, he grounds out to Jarvis.
That's 2 away now in the inning. The sac fly was the first out, so tie ball game at 3 and the base is empty.
So settling in to the righty batter's box is Cody Huff, who's reached 3 times tonight. And the breaking ball from Brand. That misses just low.
Brand allowed a leadoff double in this inning. That run just came around to score, but looked sharp other than that.
And Huff fouls that high over the right field bleachers.
Brand was 3-4 with a 4.90 ERA, pitching for the Red Hawks of Miami of Ohio this year.
And the 1-1. Another breaking ball, and Huff out in front of that one. So with 2 outs, 1 and 2, Brand trying to get out of this inning after the double from Baez and the sac fly from Tanner Smith to Cade Kern tied things up at 3. He goes back to the breaking ball, and he gets Huff looking. So strike 3. YD able to tie things up at 3. When we come back, Gatemen try to take the lead, and it's going to be Brannigan, Crooks, and Fergus when we come back on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
A tie ball game as we begin the ninth. The Gatemen here to take on the YD Red Sox. Nick Magas and Owen Shugrue with you for the final inning from Red Wilson Field. 3-3. This was the score that the Gatemen finished a ball game with just a couple of nights ago against Falmouth. It was their first and only tie of the season, but that's how it goes here in the Cape League. No extra innings, so if it's square after the ninth, it goes in the third column in the record. And nobody wants to see that happen, let's be honest, Owen.
No.
Somebody needs a run here in the ninth inning.
It was funny, I think there's the argument, well, no one loses after a tie. To me, it looked quite a bit like both teams
lost after a tie. Nobody's happy.
Nobody's happy.
There's a good number of people out there who would tell you that they'd rather lose than tie. So Jack Brannigan digs in for the Gatemen to start off this ninth inning, facing off against C.J. Culpepper. He sends a fly ball skyward. That's down the right field line, twisting and out of play. Culpepper out of California Baptist University. The Western Athletic Conference Freshman of the Year. Stands tall at 6'3" atop the mound. Now delivers the 0-1 to Brannigan, which is swung through and missed.
Nice pitch there. Brannigan out in front of that one again, so down 0-2.
It'll be 7-8-9 for the Gatemen in the batting order this inning. As Brannigan sends another one down toward the right field line, high and out of play toward the picnic tables here at Red Wilson Field. Staying alive with 2 strikes is the infielder out of Notre Dame. Jimmy Crooks waiting on deck. He pinch hit for Nick Samillo in the 7th inning, came away from that at bat with a double. And now Brannigan takes a fastball away, sends the count to 1-2. Nobody aboard here with nobody out here in the top of the 9th inning. It's a tie ball game, 3-3. And Brannigan swings and misses at a breaking ball outside for out number 1.
And another good pitch there. He got Brannigan twice. He's out in front of him. A good pitch there from Culpepper.
And the catcher there, Cody Huff, threw the ball to third base, trying to go around the horn, but then the third baseman, Zach Liu, just got it right back to the pitcher, Culpepper. Gotta believe that's for pace of play in this situation as the sun continues to fall and it's getting darker and darker here at YD with no lights on this field. 1 inning of baseball to play, and Jimmy Crooks swings through the first pitch from Culpepper. The 0-1. Off the right shin guard after it hit the bat of Jimmy Crooks. Hit the right shin guard of catcher Cody Huff and sends the count to 0-2. So Culpepper gets it back, trying to go quickly here. Wants to give YD a chance to score in the bottom of the 9th. First, he has to get through Crooks and then Fergus. A chopper fielded on a hop to third base by Liu. A long throw to first is in time to get the out. Once again, the ball quickly in the mitt of C.J. Culpepper, and now with 2 away in the top of the 9th, Cade Fergus is the last chance for the Gatemen to put a run on the board here.
I think Liu threw that over to Baez even faster than he did to Culpepper, try to keep things moving. Both teams definitely want to fit this game in.
Nobody aboard with 2 outs in the top of the 9th. It is a 3-3 tie between the Gatemen and the Red Sox as Cade Fergus takes strike 1. Wouldn't be shocked if the zone gets a little bit bigger as well in this situation. As another breaking ball, that one not quite as close as the first. It's 1-1. Culpepper gets his sign out of the windup, high leg kick, and the 1-2 to Fergus is swung through.
We talked about Franklin taking his time. He's the starter tonight for YD. And here Culpepper being very efficient, taking no extra time to deal.
1-2 to Fergus. Here's the pitch, low and away. Jim Jarvis waiting on deck. He's the top of the order for the Gatemen. But no guarantee we'll get there. Here's the 2-2. Good take from Cade Fergus. It's 3-2.
And Fergus, after reaching on base in the 7th on a walk, showing his patience here too.
The 3-2. That's a ball. Fergus hustling down to first base as the pitch got away from the catcher. He makes a turn, but will stay at first base. And Jim Jarvis, the top of the Gatemen order, coming to the plate. A good, strong at-bat with a couple of confident takes from Cade Fergus. He's aboard with the 2-out walk. And Jarvis, who is 0 for 3 with a sacrifice bunt in the 6th, comes to the dish now for the 5th time tonight. Ball game knotted at 3. Fergus running from first, now dives back after a check on him from the pitcher C.J. Culpepper.
And that's really a great walk there from Fergus. Jarvis, though he hasn't reached tonight, we all know how good he is at getting on base, and Troy's reached all 4 times, as there's another pickoff attempt to Fergus, but that really getting to the top of the order with 2 outs really has the potential to set some things up for the Gatemen.
Jarvis has yet to see a pitch here in this at-bat. It was 2 throws over to first where Fergus gets his lead. That one is chopped toward fair territory, now rolling foul down the first base line. Cody Huff there to scoop it up. And Fergus, who was on the move, will walk back to first base.
That was a good thing there for Jarvis, that one went foul. From our view, it looked a little bit like it was fair, at least for a while, and Jarvis never really moved out of the batter's box, so good thing that one had to spin to curl into foul territory.
0-1 to Jim Jarvis. Was 2 for 4 last night. And now sends another chopper in the same spot. This one picked up in foul territory as well. It was close, but Baez couldn't get a glove on it. It would have been an easy play for him if he did, but it trickles foul. And now Jimmy 2 strikes once again with an 0-2 count. Cade Fergus stranded at first base for now after drawing a 2-out walk. It is a 3-3 ball game. Outfield straight up, spread out. Waiting for the 0-2 to Jarvis. Fastball upstairs, 1-2. Breeze continues to blow out toward right field. Wyatt Hoffman playing on the grass at second base. Fergus gets his lead. Culpepper out of the stretch, now comes set and goes to first. Trying to keep the runner Fergus close. They certainly don't want him to take second base and wind up in scoring position. We'll try it again, the 1-2 to Jarvis. Checks it up, strike 3! For the second at-bat in a row, Jarvis goes down on strikes, and we are tied going to the bottom of the 9th. YD can win it at best, tie it at worst. We'll be back in a moment on the Gatemen Baseball Network. Back for the final time from Red Wilson Field in a tie ball game. The Gatemen battling the Red Sox, both teams battling nightfall. As it gets darker and darker at the field here, Jonathan Brand back out for his third inning of work, and it is his job to keep this game tied. That is the best result the Gatemen can hope for in this situation, as he delivers a breaking ball low and away to the leadoff man, Zach Liu. Liu sends a fly ball down the right field line, and that one goes out of play. Evens the count at 1. Liu 0 for 2 tonight with a walk, now 0 for 9 on the season. Still looking for his first Cape League hit as he sends a ground ball to the shortstop. Coming in on it is Jarvis. Throws in one motion and on to first for the first out.
And a really good play there from Jarvis. Just took a bit of a bigger hop than it looked like he was expecting. Went up into the upper part of his glove, but able to make a good adjustment. Made it look easy, even though it wasn't quite as easy as a routine ground ball to short, and a good out for number 1 here.
So Cade Hunter stepping into the box now, the left-handed batter's box for the first time tonight. Pascanel Ferreras, the shortstop, normally bats in the 9-hole for the Red Sox, but Cade Hunter, the catcher, stands in now and takes ball 1 from Brand. No need to worry about defensive replacements in this situation with no top of the 10th. So the catcher hitting for the shortstop that's ball 2, low and inside. That one fouled off, out of play over the third base dugout. Ferreras came into this ball game hitting 133. Now Hunter, the pinch hitter, hitting 143 on the year. Not too much of an improvement for the Red Sox statistically, but there's a fastball from Brand that splits the plate 2-2. The 2-2 pitch, high fastball. Misses, sends the count full. We were scoreless through 4 here at YD. The Gatemen got 1 in the 5th on a Justin Williams home run. The Red Sox took the lead with 2 in the 6th as that swung through and missed. Now 2 outs here in the bottom of the 9th inning. We are still tied and the bases are empty with 1 more out to get for Jonathan Brand.
1 away here for Brand. He's had 2 great performances, and this one's been very solid. And he's got a tough test with Peyton Graham.
1 more out to get to keep this ball game tied as a final result. Peyton Graham stands in the way. The leadoff man for the YD Red Sox as he shoots one to right field. Cade Kern going back on it. On the track, makes the catch. That was a loud out, but an out nonetheless. And Jonathan Brand able to escape. The final 3-3 between the Gatemen and the Red Sox. As nobody's thrilled about that result, but certainly better than a loss when it comes to the standings. And we'll take a break before our pregame show. Nick Magas here with Owen Shugrue. Thank you for joining us, everybody. Stay with us as we'll recap this ball game and more coming up in a moment after the break. Back from YD for the post-game show. It is the post-game show. I'll correct myself now. Nick Magas with Owen Shugrue. A tie ball game, 3-3 after 9 innings. We don't play extras here in the Cape League, so YD knotted up with Wareham after regulation play. There were a number of good things from both sides we saw in this ball game. For the Gatemen, they couldn't quite get together a rally, but 3 big swings of the bat were all 3 runs they produced in the ball game.
Yeah, absolutely. Justin Williams, I mean, he's the guy you go back to. He's the immediate standout performer. 2 for 4, 2 home runs. The one in the 7th, going back-to-back with Diodati. Just a fantastic night for him, making another appearance at third base. So that's a great sign from Williams. Also, Diodati, he went 1 for 3 with a home run and also walked in the 8th, so he reached twice. And so I think from that part in the middle of the order, really good signs from them. And also, I was really impressed with Tommy Troy, both in the field and at the plate. He reached 4 times. And, so I think there are definitely some encouraging signs for the Gatemen. It didn't look great, down 2-1 after the 6th. And they were, like you said, Nick, able to sort of create a bit of a mini rally, not able to eventually win the game, but really a good performance. Williams, I think that's the one that stands out. A great night from him, and a pretty solid night all around. I think it was a well-played game, good pitching, so some good signs for sure.
Yeah, Williams with 2 home runs and 2 strikeouts on the night. He'd yet to homer coming into this ball game, so really good sign to see him showing off the power a little bit. He had 5 home runs on the year at Penn State, said he wanted those numbers to be up a little bit, and that's what scouts are looking for these days. And baseball fans have mixed reviews on that. This is a perfect stat line for Justin Williams to get into this point just a little bit, and I'm sure we'll harp on it as the season goes on. But Williams, 2 strikeouts and 2 home runs, and I mean, this is a YD team that's also really heavy on the strikeouts, and that's just the way we've seen the league going and baseball going in general. Over 33% strikeouts in some cases for some teams in this Cape League, and then NCAA average is like at 20, I believe. So, when the scouts are behind home plate, it's easy to want to gear up and take big hacks at baseballs, and it's the line used to be chicks dig home runs, and now it's everybody digs home runs. The scouts and everybody in the front office, that's what they want to see. So, any reaction to that, Owen?
Well, right. I mean, I think if you're Williams, very, very good decisions, both in the 2nd and the 8th. Not to hit something like a single or a double, because that certainly wouldn't be appealing. 2 strategic strikeouts, and then also the 2 home runs. So, one of those, right? It's the 3 true outcomes, right? The strikeout, the walk, and the home run, I believe, if I'm correct on that. Yep. So, again, I think there, it's not that sort of single and double kind of hitting for contact. Williams showing off that power. Coming into this game, batting only 179, but 2 big runs, and however they're scored, they came up clutch for the Gatemen tonight.
You mentioned Tommy Troy with a good night as well. He's now 4 for 8 on the season, batting .500 through 2 games with the Gatemen. He was also hit by a pitch tonight, so getting on base, he was caught stealing a couple times tonight. The second one may have been a missed hit and run, but a good night for Tommy Troy, and he's certainly making a difference for the Gatemen, both offensively and defensively. And we'll certainly see guys like that continue to work their way into the lineup as we work our way through the season and, make an immediate difference, or at least for the Gatemen, that's the goal.
Right, exactly. That CWS still going on. Mississippi State and Vanderbilt, they had a game last night. And also, from Troy, just had some really nice plays over there at second base. A very smooth player in the field, and just had some good stops, stopping a few balls from getting into center field and making a few plays over to Despina, too. And so I think a very impressive start to the Gateman career of Tommy Troy.
On the pitching side, a couple big names coming into the ballgame. It was Brand, who started against Orleans, and then Swanson, who finished that outing. Both of them went 4 Brand gave up 1 in that outing. Swanson went 4 scoreless, and they flipped the script tonight. It was Swanson first, and he went 5, gave up 4 hits, 0 earned runs. And he was the one who kept the Gatemen in the ball game in the early going. He was excellent, working the sinker down, getting strikeouts, getting ground balls. Cole Seamus came in relief, gave up a couple runs in just a third of an inning pitch. That was the first time this season we really saw him struggle. But what did you like most about Swanson, Owen?
Yeah, Swanson was fantastic. I think, like you mentioned, Nick, he has that fastball, but I think he really worked in his breaking ball very well tonight. A very solid performance, and I think, it wasn't totally without any difficulties. There were times when there were runners on first and second, or runners on second and scoring position, and that was really when Swanson, he really had his best pitching at those moments. So I think that's a great sign. He wasn't in trouble often, but those 2 or 3 times when he was absolute money. So that's just what the Gatemen needed. And, in a low-scoring game like this, those scoreless innings were huge.
Ethan Chenault to the ball game after Seamus. He threw just 2/3 of an inning. Scoreless, though, that was the first time we saw him this season out of UNC Wilmington. Expect to see quite a bit more of him as the summer goes on. And then Jonathan Brand, who was scheduled to come in relief of Swanson, came in for 7, 8, and 9, gave up 1 earned run after a leadoff double. But other than that, Brand was clean, got through 3 innings, closed it out in the 9th to keep the ball game tied. And it was a breaking ball that he was working in quite well as well.
Yeah, we really liked that from Brand. We talk about some of those sweeping breaking balls, and again, a very solid performance from him. Just gave up just 1 earned in those 3 innings. But I also thought he was really impressive there in that 9th inning. Obviously a pressure situation and going 1, 2, 3. That last one from Graham, that was hit well to right field. I think this is a ballpark that makes that ball look deeper than it was. This fence isn't far away. That wind blowing, it's totally shifted now. Definitely just out of the south and right to right field, and Curran able to make a good catch. But I think from Brand, that 9th inning to me was what was most impressive, rebounding a little bit off of that double and that run in the 8th, and so from him too, a really solid performance. Swanson and Brand they've both been really impressive in both of their appearances so far.
So I believe that was the last time we'll see Brand this season. He reaches his inning count, his pitch count, he'll head home. But more arms coming in, more players coming in across the board. We'll have what we've been told is like 10 to 12 new pitchers within the next couple of weeks. So the carousel will continue to move here throughout the summer. Tonight, Wareham to 3-4-2, YD to 4-2-4. Those are the records as we come out of this ball game for tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, the Gatemen will be off, as will be most of the Cape League, like it happens on every Thursday. They'll be back at home on Friday versus the Hyannis Harbor Hawks for the first time this season. That'll wrap up our coverage of tonight's ball game. Thank you for joining us, to everyone who stayed with us through the end. It was a 3-3 tie. That's how it remained for Nick Magas and Owen Shugrue. Thank you for joining us on the Gatemen Baseball Network. Have a good night, everybody.